her that they don't like Nikki, it visibly makes her upset. Sometimes Peaches will be overwhelmed with a feeling of love for Nikki and feel the need to scream her name in public. Even getting out of a car in the middle of traffic to scream that Nikki is the queen of rap, she will defend Nikki on absolutely everything. When it came out that Nicki Minaj's husband was an alleged sicko, Peaches would hardcore defend all sickos, stressing to people that this kind of predatory behavior was okay, and that Nikki had done no wrong. Well, all of this paid off for Peaches because on her Instagram account, she was followed by none other than Nicki Minaj, causing her to stan only harder. Peaches doesn't care who you are. If you talk bad about Nicki, she's coming for you. During that compilation of Nicki moments I showed you, Peaches was talking about how one of her clients didn't like Nicki Minaj, and that really irked her, leading them to get into a big argument. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are like, wait a minute, Kiwi, back it up. What do you mean by clients? Well, lovely Peaches is a practitioner of the world's oldest profession, so of course she's bound to meet some people that don't like Nicki Minaj. But these negative interactions are only the tip of a very deep iceberg, because the way that she treats these guys can be absolutely diabolical. Peaches would often film interactions between her and her clients and post them to her social media accounts, and with some of them having hundreds of thousands of followers, these videos get around, once even getting to the family of one of her clients, who, as you can expect, was pretty upset, but Peaches didn't really care, recording the conversation where he confronts her on it.
You know, the toy. And my daughter seen it. Don't you know how hurt my daughter is? My son seen that. Don't you know how hurt he is?
Well, tell them I'll follow them back. Tell your kids I'll follow. Tell your kids I'll follow them back on Instagram to make them feel better.
They didn't follow them. They didn't follow you. Somebody showed it to them. And it's fucking funny, huh, man? That's not funny, bro.
Tell your kids I'll follow them back on Instagram? That is icy cold. But if I'm being truthful, what did this guy expect? If you don't want to embarrass your kids, just don't do something that would embarrass them. Because if they know anything about Peaches, they are probably pretty disappointed. She is known for a lot more than just screaming in public and yelling about Nicki Minaj, stuff that we will cover in a later segment. This guy definitely put himself in this situation. Peaches is who she is. It doesn't matter if you're a guy setting up a table at the mall or a client in bed with her at 4 a.m.
Nicki is the queen of rap. Nicki is the queen of rap.
God damn it, girl, it's too early in the morning to be hollering about that.
She's still the queen of rap, period. Y'all are delusional.
You won.
She has no problem with making her clients' lives harder, getting them kicked out of hotel rooms, unintentionally informing their family of their proclivities, or demanding that they worship Nicki Minaj. But all of that is tame in comparison to what I'm about to show you, because this shit is absolutely heartless, and I feel bad for laughing at it as hard as I did. During a phone call with a client, Brittany would say that she was sick with something extremely serious. I don't know if this is true, but judging on her laughing, I would say that it's a joke. Either way, she tells her client that she has this, and he breaks down crying.
Are you crying just because we have...
Who's we? Please, you playing about this, please.
Stop crying, you fool. It ain't that serious.
It's serious.
What you doing?
No, please, you just playing, please. This, why are you laughing? This is not funny. Why are you laughing?
Quiet, you fool. It's not that serious. And to film it all, laughing your ass off. That's about as cold as it gets. But she doesn't do this to everybody. In fact, some clients have become reoccurring characters in the Lovely Peaches universe, like this old fella who has appeared in numerous commercials that Lovely Peaches has done. You see, Brittany will get these sponsorship deals where she'll be provided a link and tell people to go purchase an item or use a service. Many YouTubers do this, even I have, but she is one of the only creators that I can think of that promotes like this.
Hey Daddy, I seen you just got off of work.
Yeah, baby.
You look good.
Yeah, baby.
Whoa. Where did you get these new Nike shoes?
I pay for these shoes by clicking the link. By clicking the link in your bio.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you clicked the link in my bio and made $750 to buy the new Nikes?
Yes,
All y'all have to do is click the link in my bio, and they'll send you $750.
My favorite part of the commercial is when he completely blanks out for 15 seconds and she has to yank on his legs so that he reads the script. I've seen Peaches do quite a few of these commercials in my time researching her, and the one I just showed you isn't the only one that he's appeared in.
You always take me to Outback Steakhouse every week. How do you pay for this?
Well, actually, all I have to do is play a few games and answer some surveys. It's actually really easy because I love playing games. So all you have to do is click the link in my bio, play some games, answer some surveys, and you too can take your man to a luxury steak meal.
You know what, I might be wrong, I don't think those are the same guy. But either way, my point stands. Lovely Peaches is all over the place when it comes to her clients. Some of them are treated to luxury steak dinners, while others are in tears because of the real-world complications that Peaches has brought. Brittany has had contact with a lot of different guys in this line of work. Her mother would pass when she was 13, and this led her to a life of providing for herself, and eventually for her daughter, who she had when she was 18. And I'm telling you all of this now because we are about to get into some of the horrible allegations that have been made against Peaches. The source of said allegations is shocking because they come from Peaches' own mouth. What I've already shown you is what I consider to be the more good-hearted side of this story, because the rest of this is absolutely vile. Another reason that Peaches went viral was because of her claims of being unhygienic. As I'm sure you could garner from the song Burnin' and Itchin', she has some problems, but it goes so much deeper than just the song. On a separate occasion, she would go through her hygiene practices overall in what is either a damning admission or an attempt at comedy.
Why don't you take showers? Not once have I ever heard an actual good, reasonable reason for people to shower. Showering, people shower because it's a trend. It's not something that it's not like drinking food or water. It's not something that it's not something that we actually need. Someone else doing it and everybody else doing it. I want to do it. I want to fit in. I want to do it. It's just kind of like with Jordan shoes. What is so special about Jordan shoes? I remember I was desperate to get some Jordan shoes, and when I got them bitches was ugly, but I still wore them just to fit in. And I'm speaking facts, even though people are gonna laugh, people are gonna think I sound dumb. I'm speaking facts, because think to yourself. You have to think to yourself, why do I shower? Why do I bath? Why do I do it? What am I getting out of doing this? Am I going to starve if I don't take a bath? Basically, you're just wasting your own water bill for no reason because you want to fit in. And I understand it because people don't know if you shower or not anyways. They cannot tell. They cannot tell from Adam or Eve if you take baths or if you shower or not. So why are you doing it just to fit in and people don't even know if you're really doing it or not?
But all of this was actually quite tame in comparison to some of the things that Brittany claims she has done. She began to receive a lot of kickback on social media, and rightly so, after she made a couple of disturbing statements about her daughter, statements that would make people who read it call into question the safety of that child. I just want to stress to you that all of this was absolutely vile, and is a large reason that she is as infamous as she is. These statements would offend and disgust almost anyone that read them, leading many to contact Child Protective Services. Thankfully, Brittany does not have custody of her child, and it seems that none of the things that she mentioned actually came to pass. She claims that statements like this from her are all to drum up attention on social media. Even if this is the case, it is a prime example of Brittany putting herself before everyone else yet again. But this horrible act was not an isolated incident, because Lovely Peaches has a long history of inappropriate behavior around minors. In 2019, Brittany would expose herself on a live stream with former Disney star Sky Jackson, and in 2020 she would appear in Miami to perform, also exposing herself there. There is also a screen recording from around this time of Lovely Peaches making inappropriate comments in a underage TikToker's live stream. The TikToker was Charlie D'Amelio, who was only 16 at the time and visually uncomfortable with Peaches' messages, which is yet another reoccurring theme when it comes to Brittany. She will tell people that she makes all of these disturbing statements for attention and that it's simply an aspect of her social media strategy, but people like the police can't take risks with stuff like that. And Peaches will sometimes make statements that they have to respond to. A prime example of this would be when Peaches made statements about her dog similar to the ones that she had made about her daughter. She made some absolutely horrible posts about that animal online, leading people to report her to animal control as well as the police, who confronted Peaches about her comments, all on body camera.
Whose daughter?
Mine.
Why would you make that
For followers.
Rory?
For followers?
Oh, Daddy.
As you can see, he's fine. Food right there.
What?
How long you had this dog?
No, thank
few
you
weeks.
so much.
Do you want this dog?
Okay, bye-bye.
I mean, I might give it to my dad, but
Where is she? Bye-bye.
If you were following somebody and they made an allegation, you were armed with something for someone.
yeah, I make jokes all the time, but nobody make jokes.
That's not normal.
I don't even have a window to throw them out of.
You do have a window, you have a door and a balcony. But you have a door and a balcony.
We're going on the hill. What?
That's not something that should be joking about.
At all. He's all scared.
He's scared to death. Depression, bipolar, or anything like that? Is there a reason you do what you do?
Your label will sign me and I can live good.
So someone will sign you and you can live good?
Enemy set coming in.
Okay. Alright. I mean, like I said,
I mean, that makes sense. You know, I want a good life for me, my dad, and my daughter. I don't see that's me and dad.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. With some of the antics you pulled on Instagram, it's not normal.
You know, but that's why I have so many followers.
You only had 459 followers.
I know. It's a fan page.
You have 1.1 million followers. How much money you get from Instagram?
I have sponsorships, you know, for me like $1,000
a week. Animal control. We'll be here to talk to you.
The police also had a video of Peaches being less than kind to the animal, and she would be arrested for her actions against it, only to be swiftly released, almost facing no consequence. Peaches claimed during her interaction with the officers that all of this was for social media clout, but there are numerous videos out there of her treating this dog very poorly, and this would rightly lead to even more infamy for Brittany, as well as consequences. Whether it was because of this action or many others, her Instagram account with over 1 million followers was terminated, and account terminations have become more and more frequent for Brittany, either posting videos of John's or her many awful comments about various subjects. Lovely Peaches isn't nearly as big on social media as she once was, but that doesn't mean that all of this behavior has stopped. There are just less people seeing it. Sometimes Brittany will go dark and claim that she had to spend some time at the hospital, but she almost always returns with more content, which has followed the same patterns since her beginning online. Between what she's done to the public, numerous children, including her own, and even animals. I have no more doubts that she is one of the worst people I have covered on this channel. Brittany Johnson has affected many people's lives in a negative way, both deserving and undeserved, and she feels absolutely nothing.
I hate Only JS. I don't usually say I hate people, but I would pay to slap the shit out of Only JS. Was scrolling through my For You page and Only JS's live came up. I feel like I just got hate crimed. Only JS is one of, if not the most hated creator on TikTok. She has been a constant controversy magnet for the last few years. And while none of these controversies were able to make her lose her audience overnight, they've been slowly chipping away at her online reputation. It's gotten to the point that the only people who talk about her now are the ones who hate her guts. Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we'll be examining the satisfying downfall of Only JS, how a mixture of extreme racism, blatant plagiarism, and over-the-top reactions turned her into the punching bag of the Isabella Avila, aka Only JS, started her TikTok account back in 2018. She was working at Best Buy at the time and often recorded her videos without taking off the uniform. When Best Buy found out, they did not like it one bit, resulting in her getting fired from her job.
I was working at Best Buy making videos in my uniform. They found out about it, not even at work, like before work, after work, just in my uniform. They found out about it, told me to delete the videos or we're gonna fire you. So I deleted the videos and then they fired me.
They fired you anyway?
Yeah, they fired me anyway.
This gave her the push she needed to pursue social media full time and do everything she could to succeed at it. During this time, she started uploading fun fact and life hack videos that went super viral.
You can tell which one of your friends likes who by just paying attention a little bit more. If you're in a group and something funny happens or somebody tells a joke, people tend to be laughing while looking at the person they like most.
The success of these videos was a massive boost for her TikTok, allowing her to go from just over 100,000 followers in September of 2019 to 1 million followers just a month later. And while her TikTok was doing numbers, she also started a YouTube channel under the same name in October of 2019 and posted her first video titled God Isn't Real, But Why He Exists. From there, she continued posting a variety of videos, like vlogs and Q&As, but her most popular uploads were the video essays on topics such as hypnosis is real, the meaning of life, and where are the aliens? The audience loved the deep yet entertaining discussion of these fascinating topics from Only JS.
But hypnosis, while it can be described as such, is so much deeper than mind control. It's real and it's not a hoax. The future of hypnosis will be to fully realize the incredible potential of our natural hypnotic abilities. It allows us to open up, relax, change, laugh, and it teaches us to have a little bit more fun.
With one commenter under this video writing, "Please don't stop making these videos. They are so interesting, I love them." What fans didn't know at the time was that these videos were hiding a terrible secret that ended up being a major reason behind Only JS's downfall. We'll get back into this later in the video. Getting back to her rise on social media, she also started posting her popular TikToks on YouTube Shorts after its launch in July of 2021, which directed even more people to her long-form content on YouTube as well as her TikTok page. And as if succeeding on both TikTok and YouTube wasn't enough, she even got hired by Netflix to host a podcast called Know It All in March of 2020.
Hey know-it-alls, remember my riddle from last episode? What is somewhere we've already been and is not here? Shout it out on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Space.
And to top it off, she even received a sponsorship from Tinder.
Here's some easy tricks that might just get you more matches on Tinder.
Put simply, Only JS had everything a TikToker/online influencer could ever dream of. But it didn't take long for her to lose it all. Fast forward to today, and her career is at an all-time low. Her TikTok account is struggling to clear 100,000 views, despite having over 18 million followers. Most of her recent YouTube videos have terrible like to dislike ratios, and people even created a petition for her to get banned from TikTok, with over 447,000 signatures to date. Which begs the question, what happened? How did a TikToker who makes harmless life hack videos become the most hated person on the platform? As I briefly mentioned earlier, Only JS has been a constant controversy magnet for the last 3 years or so. That said, most of these controversies can be divided into 2 main categories, the first of which is her extreme racism. Only JS has always presented herself as a wholesome and inclusive person, and that's what her fans believed as well. That is, until February 2021, when TikToker Freak to Gemini posted a video exposing her for the deeply disturbing messages she sent back in 2016.
Everybody hear that I love you no matter your sex, your gender, your sexuality, your faith, or your race.
Goofy alert, guess that didn't age well, cause this you. At the bottom, calling someone the hard ER, a word used to oppress black people in my community.
The messages read, "You told yourself to grow up." Oh yeah, totally. Going to high school, college classes, work, and working 7 to 8+ hours on YouTube is so not hard. Butch, grow up. Let your damn balls drop before you start talking shit to pop on the internet, you bottomless pit of insecurity. Again, autocorrect, you dumb c. And yes, you're right, the abortion didn't work, which is why my parents hate me and why I've been in foster care for the past 2 years. So congrats on that. Go F yourself, you piece of... I honestly hope your parents get cancer. I hope everyone you love dies, and most of all, I hope Trump gets shot, so your dumbass self gets to live in a world with Clinton as president. While all of these messages were extremely inappropriate and disturbing, they would pale in comparison to her last message, which read, "I'm done talking to a hard R-loving ads hole, have fun with sucking." These messages were allegedly directed at another white creator who was dating a black person at the time. So instead of using the N-word with a hard R as an insult, she tried to insult the person for loving a black person, which some might argue is even worse.
Here's the thing, she didn't just say the N-word. It's not like she was mouthing it and said the words in a song. There are levels to it. There's the white influencer dancing and then mouthing the words with an A at the end. There's calling someone the N-word. There's calling someone the N-word with a hard R at the end. And then there's calling someone a n***ver. A slur is a slur, but to insult someone for being in a relationship with a black person by calling them a n***ver, it does not get any worse than that.
Admittedly, these messages were from 2016, back when she was 17 years old, so she still had the opportunity to own up to a mistake, make a sincere apology, and vow to never repeat this mistake again. Only JS, however, decided it would be best to make a corporate apology with hollow promises and clearly fake tears.
In my past, I said disgusting things to people, and I am so ashamed of myself for using racist rhetoric and derogatory language to hurt others, because I knew what that word meant, and I understood the power behind it, but I said it anyway because it was the meanest thing that I could think of, and I am so sorry to everyone, but especially to those in the black community, because only you guys can forgive me for this, and there is no excuse, and there are no justifications for what I said, and you guys deserve better.
Some people did try to defend her, like this one person who wrote, "You asked for an apology, you got an apology. Take the apology." Most saw this whole thing as fake and insincere, with one comment stating, "This is so upsetting. I want to believe she's a good person since I like her content because she has reflected anti-racist rhetoric in past TikToks, but she just keeps digging her grave deeper and deeper. First, she takes a long time to respond to this problem. Then she thinks she can redeem herself by following lots of black creators. And then she makes a response video that looks really quickly thrown together. It's also clear that she hasn't been crying, but rather that's the face of someone who's been having a panic attack. That leaves me to believe she is more worried about her follower count / popularity rather than her quality as a person. She's panicking to save her spotlight, but she's doing all the wrong things. Hopefully, she can take a step back and address this properly after she's cleared her head, because I want to see some more of her content. Other creators on TikTok were also calling her out for trying to seem like she was deeply hurt and crying during the video.
Everything I hated about Only Jay's apology. Number first is the fake crying. I don't know what Miss Little Thing thought she was doing, but she was like, like she was crying when we all know she wasn't. Stop.
Put simply, the whole apology was completely rejected by the internet. Making more videos, crying on camera, and pleading for forgiveness would have only made the situation worse, and only JS knew about this. So instead, she tried to show her audience that she was improving as a person.
The first book that I decided to pick up was How to Be Anti-Racist by Dr. Ibram Kendi, and this will push readers that think that they're not racist into being something better.
Regardless of her intentions, this came off as extremely performative, with even Charlie mocking her for posting this video.
You need to buy a book on how not to be racist. You've already failed. I think you're already too far gone.
However, despite the public ridicule, she still had one last chance to redeem herself. You see, near the end of her apology, she promised to collab with more black creators on TikTok as a way to raise awareness on the issue of racism.
So I want to take this time to take a step back and share my platform with some amazing Black creators who are going to tell their story to try and educate others on the trauma that happens when we use this kind of language.
After watching this, a Black TikToker by the name of Aunt Karen Zero reached out to OnlyJS, and the two agreed to post videos together in the upcoming days. However, days turned into weeks, and the collab video never got uploaded, leaving fans nothing but confused. Well, as it turns out, OnlyJS failed to follow through on her end of the bargain, despite making such a big deal out of this in her apology. This made Aunt Karen feel like she was just used for attention, then tossed aside when the controversy lost steam. After getting fed up with the situation, she posted a series of videos on her TikTok publicly calling out OnlyJS on her behavior.
So this message is for you, OnlyJS. Now, you become a mutual of mine after your whole N-word debacle. Said you want to collaborate with me. We email, and suddenly you've dropped off the face of the earth. So are Black people just tokens for you to use when you're ready to play? Because I can tell you one thing. If you were really truly sorry about what you said, you would not have lied and said you were going to do something you clearly aren't trying to do.
These videos were quickly eroding the little credibility OnlyJS had left with her audience. But just like before, she still had the opportunity to admit her mistake and show that she meant it by doing the right thing. OnlyJS, however, had a better idea: to go on a rage-filled rant and blame everything on her ADHD while taking zero responsibility for not following through on her promise.
What are people mad at me for now? Not checking my emails in a timely manner! I wish I was joking! Forgot to respond to an email from this creator that wanted to collab with me, and instead of just hitting me up again, they made 7 videos about it! Can you please leave me the f alone? I have a diagnosed neurological disorder that makes me forget things and procrastinate due to time blindness. I forget to eat for days. I procrastinate sleep for more days. I barely text my family back, and I just had to move apartments because my address got leaked, and you're gonna throw a fit because I didn't make you my priority? Ah!
But this wasn't even the end of the controversy. The thing is, people always suspected that OnlyJS's apology was scripted. That much was clear. But here's where it gets insane. Isabella didn't even write her own apology. Instead, it was ghostwritten by a TikTok user, #JustXander, who later posted a video exposing her lies.
I had someone ghostwrite their apology so that they didn't lose their brand deals.
The person that helped you write the apology is
Mimi, hi. I've already talked about it once before on my channel, but immediately after they confirmed it was true with me over text message, I then tried to help them to the best of my ability while still being extremely angry and frustrated. Helped with a good bit of the apology, especially the part about Black creatives. When we were both talking about that part in the apology, I really did think that they would hold up their end of the bargain,
By this point, the backlash against OnlyJS reached even the most secluded corners of the internet. Both Netflix and Tinder quickly dropped any partnership with her to avoid impacting their brands, and someone even started a change.org petition to get her account banned from TikTok. And while TikTok didn't ban her account, the nearly 450,000 signatures painted a clear picture of the overwhelming backlash directed at her. The only silver lining from this entire controversy is that she hasn't repeated the same mistake since, though I can't say the same for the second major controversy behind her colossal downfall: blatant and continuous plagiarism. It all started in 2020 when she accused TikToker Jonathan Moss of stealing her video about the meaning behind being born in a certain month. She also called him out on Twitter, stating, "TikTok creators should be called out when they copy others' TikTok creators' videos word for word." But as Jonathan showed in his duet, he didn't steal anything from JS and simply used the same article as her to make his video.
I do not own information. I think it's okay for other creators to do fact videos. It literally does not bother me. I just think it's really weird when other big creators think it's okay to copy my video word for word and act like you didn't.
Did you know that your birth month actually has a huge effect on who you are as a person and the things that could possibly happen to you?
Yo, did you know that your birth
Plagiarism,
month actually
there it
has a
is.
huge
Knew
effect
it.
on you? When she was reading that, I was like, she didn't read
The
that
drama
shit.
with Jonathan ended rather
That's
uneventfully,
some pretty high-level
but it
stuff.
was about to become one of the
For a
biggest
TikToker.
mistakes of her entire career. You
doesn't
see,
seem to
the
have,
altercation with Jonathan
PhD
made
or
many of
something.
her viewers
Yeah,
realize that she was simply copying ideas from elsewhere on the internet and presenting them
Knew it.
as
I
her
called it
own.
at the very beginning
So
of this
they
video.
started
Well, I mean,
digging
he
through her older
mentioned
content,
plagiarism
and
in
the
the
amount
video,
of
and I'm like, well,
blatant
it's gotta be
plagiarism they found was staggering. Remember her long-form video essays on YouTube that viewers loved? Well, as it turns out, large portions of these essays were straight up copied word for word from Reddit posts or other similar sources, including the very first video she posted on the platform.
I have absolute proof that God does not exist. This proof is absolute, but immaterial. You can't see it or measure it, but it exists. It's beyond comprehension, and thus we should not even question it. It's everywhere at all times. You just need to have faith that it's there and that it's truth. My proof is as real as any God.
In the description of the video, she listed a few sources for her arguments, but completely failed to mention the Reddit post she stole from Bar for Bar, making it seem like she was deliberately hiding her real sources. She took things a step further in her Look at Netflix video, where she plagiarized from 3 different articles, starting with an article from Comparitech.
As of 2020, Netflix users watched an average of 3.2 hours of video per day through the service. That's 6 billion collective hours per month. If we assume that each hour of streaming services use 3 gigabytes of data, this means that we're using around 288 gigabytes per month of Netflix alone. Of course, this is assuming you're using HD video. If you prefer 4K, those numbers are far higher.
Before moving on to Forbes.
Netflix is facing some seriously steep competition through powerhouses such as Disney Plus and the soon-to-be-launched Apple TV.
And even stealing an entire passage from a post on LinkedIn.
In 2013, Netflix required massive amounts of fast storage and fast networking for streaming. At the time, it had 100 to 150 terabytes per server, which has grown massively since then. Netflix CEO Reese Hastings stated in 2015 that users have streamed 42.5 billion hours of video through the service.
And it wasn't just YouTube videos either. Viewers found that many of her TikToks were also word-for-word recreations of things that already existed on the internet.
Just trying to confirm, everybody's tired all the time, right? No matter how much sleep we get or caffeine we consume, but also we have a lot of trouble even just falling asleep, and we're constantly hungry, but also kind of always nauseous. We're spending every waking moment either working or cleaning, but feeling like nothing ever actually gets accomplished.
By this point, most of her fans were seeing her for what she truly was, a prolific content thief. There was still an argument to be made that she was simply converting text into video format, and that didn't count as stealing. However, this flawed argument quickly falls apart if we consider the fact that Hollywood producers still need an author's permission before adapting their book into a movie. So just because she was changing mediums didn't mean she could copy someone else's work word for word. Well, at least she wasn't stealing other TikTok creators' videos word for word, staying true to the standards she set in her own tweet, right? Sadly, no.
I'm going to be teaching you how to fake your own death.
How to fake your own death.
Immediately start paying off all your debt.
You're also going to want to pay off all of your debt.
This ensures that no debt collectors will come looking after you.
It's going to ensure that no debt collectors come looking for you.
No one will report you to the police for unpaid debts.
We're calling the police to try and get their money back.
This wasn't an isolated incident either.
Okay, boom, the bomb exploded, you have to act immediately. First of all, don't look at the flash because it's going to blind.
Boom, the bomb went off, you have to act fast. Okay, first things first, don't look at the flash, it'll blind you.
You don't have a chance to get to a shelter. Your safest bet is to lay down face down and cover your head.
If you can't find shelter, your best bet is going to be to lay down on the ground, face down, covering your head and ears.
Fact number 1, Wikipedia articles can be super long, right? Well, did you know that if you replace this word en with simple,
just delete this en dot and type in simple.
So chat, what's worse, being a racist or plagiarist? What's worse? I don't know. Probably racist, but man, being a plagiarist is pretty low. To be a racist plagiarist, I don't think it gets much lower. Am I right? Right or am I right? Am I right? Am I right? Am I right? Am I right?
it'll simplify the entire article for you.
Wikipedia will dumb it down for you.
Enter the name of your class, file type and then 2 dots PPT.
In the subject you need to learn about, followed by file type : PPT.
You will find tons of slides and PowerPoints on the subject that you're studying.
And a bunch of different PowerPoint presentations of the subject are gonna pop.
Only JS's blatant thievery was too much for even her most loyal fans to defend, resulting in most of them turning against her. The fact that she did this and earlier called someone out for, quote, copying her. People who only copy others are not only lazy, they have absolutely no personality. That's why they can only mimic the creativity of others. Neither thing is something to be proud of. JS tried to ignore the drama and continued posting like nothing had happened. That is, until she copied from the wrong man. Everyday Alex.
When you get a new job, do just enough to not get fired.
Put in the bare minimum, just enough not to get fired.
And then after about 6 months, or when a new position opens up, make a sudden, drastic change.
In like 6 months or whenever a new position opens up, you're gonna kick it into high gear.
Start coming in early, grind really hard, offer to take work home.
You're gonna come into work early, you're gonna ask to bring like work home.
And Alex posted a video calling her out, to which she immediately responded by stating, "This guy's claiming I stole his content, but we used the same Reddit page and read off of it. I'm just gonna ignore it because honestly, it's kinda silly." She was likely hoping that this would be enough to satisfy her viewers and prevent Alex from taking this issue any further. However, Alex wasn't backing out this easily, so he posted a response in which he promised to pay $10,000 to charity if anyone could find the Reddit post JS was talking about.
Only JS stole one of my TikTok videos. I have the proof on my page. I called her out, she denied it, and said this, that we both got the idea from the same Reddit post. I am offering $10,000 to charity right now if she can send me the Reddit post. And if any of you on the internet can find the Reddit post, I'll give you $1,000 and we'll donate the other $9,000 to a charity of your choice.
After learning about Alex's challenge, JS claimed that she had screenshotted the original post on her phone many years ago and hosted a live stream to find it live. And after stumbling around on her phone for a bit, she actually found the screenshot that matched her video script. But before she could claim her victory, Alex posted a series of videos showcasing how she faked the whole thing.
I actually haven't even sat down and found the screenshot yet.
Oh really? Because the Reddit thread is bookmarked.
Shows how much my number.
Fake scrolling.
There's gotta
you know
be
where
well
it is.
over, like, I found the screenshot. It's this one, and I took this screenshot March 20th, 2020.
The date thing is meaningless. Here's a fake post we made, and this is how easy it was for us to change the date. We used a program to check for modification, and you can see here the result is looks like computer generated or modified.
However, things got even crazier when Alex did a bit more digging and found the real truth.
We found how she got the rest of the screenshot. It turns out you can search Reddit for recent deleted posts. We used the script in the screenshot and saw that she commented it. She commented on a different subreddit where she thought nobody would see, and then deleted it so that she had the convincing looking thing for her screenshot. She actually posted it twice because there's some typos in the first one, and then she changed the date on the screenshot, which you can do.
Alex also pointed out that the screenshot she claimed to have taken in 2020 had a resolution of 1290 by 2796 pixels, and the only iPhone that had that display was the iPhone 15 Pro Max, which was released in late 2023. So unless you received an early sample of the 15 Pro Max from Apple 3 years before its launch, the screenshot was clearly taken more recently. At this point, Jace realized that there was nothing that she could do to deny the truth anymore, so she simply ignored Alex and went back to stealing videos from other creators.
A slur is a slur, but to insult someone for being in a relationship with a black person by calling them a nigga lover?
And while saying extremely racist stuff as a teen and stealing content from others is bad, it's still not bad enough to make her the most hated person on TikTok. After all, there are literal PDF files on TikTok and other platforms that deserve a lot more hate from the internet. So why did only Jace become the recipient of so much backlash from every corner of the internet? The answer to that can be explained by this comment on YouTube, which reads, "The amount of time she's been exposed is a world record. In other words, she's been involved in so many controversies over the last 3 years that even people who've never watched her videos know her as a content thief who said the N-word with the hard R. This, combined with her over-the-top reactions to drama,
They made 7 videos about it!
have turned her into the perfect target for hate on the internet, to the point that she would be criticized no matter what she does. Like when she posted this video about getting a free wallet by following a service dog.
If a service dog ever approaches you but they're alone, that means that their owner is in trouble and they probably can't move, so you should follow him, because you'll get a free wallet.
This was clearly a joke that has been circulating on the internet for decades, but when JS posted this video, the internet's lost its collective mind, with everyone from her viewers to disabled creators calling her out for how insensitive and dangerous this video was.
Why do able-bodied people think they can make jokes at disabled people's expense? Especially because I know you think that's a joke, but there's people who will take that seriously and actually do that to a disabled person. And as somebody with a service dog who's trained to go get somebody if I have a seizure, I'd be devastated if somebody was such a shitty to steal my stuff.
I'm blowing kisses to my kitty.
Having a medical emergency.
Some people did try to defend her video, like this one person who stated, "I'm sure she's an awful person or whatever, but I gotta say the joke about service dogs, and I say this being blind and a crippled person and working with a lot of blind people is not offensive. It's the kind of humor we tell each other all the time. I'm so
Stu
effing
loves
sick
to
of
replace
people
her.
telling disabled people how to feel about jokes and words, like we're not perfectly capable of knowing how we feel and speaking for ourselves. Honestly, out of everything that JS got called out for, that's the one thing that was genuinely just idiotic. The rest all seemed pretty fair to me." Another commenter shared a similar sentiment, writing, "As a physically disabled person, people should always lighten up about dark humor. It was clearly a joke, and anybody who would be genuinely swayed to pickpocket from a TikTok are predisposed to heinous acts anyway." However, the backlash against this video was intense enough to drown out any support, adding another entry to a long list of controversies, which in turn made her even more despised on the internet. Unfortunately for Only JS, she has no one to blame but herself for the complete destruction of her reputation. She has been trying to fix the issue by doing things like deleting comments. However, she won't be making a comeback through comment moderation anytime soon. The only options left for her are either to quit right now or continue posting and slowly fade into internet obscurity forever. Of course, she can always try to start another controversy to increase her viewership, but I wouldn't recommend that. Another creator who completely destroyed their reputation was Nuz Daily. Click the video on screen to find out how.
What's Johnny Harris on to? What's he talking about? Let's go for like a video with zero sources and lots of stock footage. Let's check it out.
There's a small volcanic island off the southern coast of Japan called Magashima.
Oh my god, it's the same shit every time. The fucking like camera sound effects. Check out these pretty pictures, guys. Are you distracted enough to not notice that I'm just kind of bullshitting through this and I haven't actually given you any reason to believe what I believe?
Nobody lives here. But here's footage from January 2023 of construction workers arriving to this island. Their task is to build a couple of runways on the island and some storage facilities for ammunition. The Japanese government has been paying local fishermen to stay away from this island. That's because they're turning it into a military base. The island is being built by Japan, but one of its main purposes has to do with the United States. American fighter jets and aircraft carriers have had to do their drills and practices down here on this island. But now they're able to station at—
Damn it. What, like, you mean the US, like on the other side of the world? They've had to like be over here. They've had to be kind of far away from like the other side of the world rather than right next to it. Oh, those poor fucking American, that sucks, man. I'm glad that Japan is stepping in and letting those American planes get to where they should be, which is way closer to all the countries that they could attack. That's what we really need here.
This island, moving them much closer to this ocean and to one country in particular.
Oh man, holy
Magashima
shit, man.
is just one.
Like the worst thing about this is the only like remotely half decent thing about his videos is the editing. And obviously he doesn't do the editing. He pays someone else to do it for him. I don't even think he writes them. Wait, let's check the credits. Let's check the credits. I think he has like at least a 10-person team. Center for Strategic and International Studies, special thanks. We got video by Johnny Harris. Story producer, production manager, editing. So like basically he doesn't do anything. he just presents the video. Like, if you look at all of this, story producer, that means writer. Production manager, that's the guy who like manages the on-the-day like filming and stuff. Editing, not him. Animation, not him. Additional animation, not him. Studio production, not him. Executive producer, I assume that's his wife. Music by Tom Fox. So in a Johnny Harris video, Johnny Harris doesn't actually do shit. It's a Johnny Harris video, and like it's named after him, sure, but he doesn't actually make the fucking videos himself. He's just a talking head basically, except he owns the whole shebang and makes money from it. That's why he can like shit them out like once a week. Like the only good thing about the video is like the visuals, kind of. Not so much the sound design, just annoying. And he doesn't actually do it.
Or aggression, depending on military of many islands that are being loaded up with military hardware, most of it coming from the United States. It's part of this chain of militarized islands, an effort of defense or aggression.
Yeah, the US is here, right? Off the coast of China and near these other Asian countries, right? It's here to defend, right? It's defending. Just depends on your perspective.
And how you look at it. It's a line that centers on Taiwan. And it's what one official was referring to when they said that 2023 is likely to stand as the most transformative year in U.S. force posture in this region in a generation. This line is a symbol of the rising tensions between global superpowers. And I want to show you why this is happening now and what it means for the future.
We're going for hip fires. We're going for right after sprinting.
Since World War II. Tensions are rising in one of the most hotly contested regions on the planet, the South China Sea.
Fucking love Friday.
Hey, I'm going to pause the story really quick to tell you about today's sponsor, who is Copilot, which is a product that I actually use almost every day of my
Okay, let me give you an idea of how much money Johnny gets.
You need to stop using okay. I use it in the traditional sense, like, yeah,
right? Like
okay.
A decent CPM,
but it's that
is
meaning
like
that's been taken.
So let's just go with 15.
I need to stop using
right? $33,000.
Completely.
That actually seems kind of low. So $33,000 just for the sponsorship, at least, probably more.
My life. Copilot is a platform where you get paired up with a fitness coach.
Thank you.
You meet with that fitness coach. It's a real person. It's not like an AI. And that fitness coach talks to you about your fitness goals. And then
you can just watch YouTube videos.
And then
so Johnny Harris gets his he gets his own fitness coach, and the fitness coach. Let's check out the exercises that he got him doing. He's got him doing snap down stretch, arm circles. Do some arm circles, guys. Let's do some arm circles. I like to do arm circles.
These are exercises that are literally designed for me and
that was embarrassing.
And my goal.
Come on, man. What are your goals?
Goals aren't to like get buff. I'm just trying to like work out so that I feel strong and feel.
Then why are you doing arm circles?
Good in my body, and that is what my workout is designed to do. It also pairs up with my watch so that it cues me onto the next exercise. Oftentimes I'm like listening to a podcast.
You might as well just not do this. It's going to be the same.
Cast or book or music, and I can just visually see all of these cues. It's incredibly convenient and very smooth. At the end of my workout, I have the opportunity to then communicate with my coach and say like, hey, I wanted a little bit more like core workout, or like the push-ups were too intense this time, let's tone it down. And then my coach, Devin, will actually modify my workout for the next day so that it fits my feedback. What I love about Copilot is that it's much more about accountability.
I don't know why I'm watching the ad. I think, honestly, yeah, the ad is more interesting than the actual video.
There's somebody who's going to check in with me and ask how the workout went. Copilot found that their client...
Why? I mean...
are 9 times more likely to stick to their goals when they have a real...
they found out themselves. Of course they did. I mean, it's like saying that Coca-Cola found out that like sugary drinks are healthy for you.
Real person coach who is designing a workout for them, which is like not surprising to me. Of course they are. Accountability and consistency is the hardest thing with fitness, as we all know. And Copilot solves that by pairing you up with a real person. I've been doing this now for like 8 months. It's been really, really cool. I've changed my workout a bunch. I've like met with my coach and like
really
reshaped my entire workout based on these goals.
No, honestly, I think the CPM for this is going to be a lot higher actually, because it's like 2 minutes long. Probably like double.
And I just think it's a fantastic platform. So thank you, Copilot, for sponsoring the video. There's a link in my description. It is go.mycopilot.com/Johnny Harris.
And it's like a 21-minute long video, but like at least like 3 or 4 minutes at the end are just fluff. And then there's like a 4-hour long ad too.
Clicking that link helps support this channel, but it also gives you 14 days of... Okay, so this document from the U.S. Department of Defense.
This
document is called the National Defense Strategy of the United States of America, which also includes the Nuclear Posture Review and Missile Defense Review. It's basically a report that they release every 4 years that gives us an understanding of what the U.S. military is up to, what they care about.
I mean, you don't need an official U.S. military report for that, buddy. Like, what the fuck? Oh, guys, it's so fucking cool.
But this year's is more detailed than The document focuses a lot on China.
These are basically press releases, right? They release this shit because they want people to read it and to think about the things that they're saying in it, right? And he's like reading it at face value as if this is like their secret document where they blow the lid off everything. Like the purpose of the US military releasing a document like this where like China bad, we have to stop China, we want to stop China. You know, it's them like trying to get more defense funding. It's them trying to get more war funding and like them trying to, you know, like convince the media and, you know, just people in general to get on board with the shit they're saying. It's not actually like them outlining their real strategy or anything.
Threatens our sovereignty, concerns directly to China.
The DoD says that China, quote, remains our most consequential strategic competitor for coming decades. Why? Because, the Pentagon says, China is bullying its neighbors to, quote,
China is bullying its neighbors, says the USA, of course.
Shape the region and the international system to fit its authoritarian preferences. Now, remember that the United States, who spends loads on its military, has set the rules for our global order, how we trade, what political systems we favor, who participates in the system, and now we see a country that wants to dethrone them, to create a new system based on other values and other rules.
China does not export its system, whatever the fuck you're saying, system at all. Only the US does that. Huge fucking projection here. Of course, there's no source for any of this. Where has China exported its system to? What? Where?
And what scares the US military is that China is rapidly modernizing and expanding their military. China's military is growing incredibly fast. Like,
he's just like looking at this like from the perspective of the US military being like just and right. You know, like you're supposed to take by default the fact that China is maybe being able to slightly compete with the US now is a bad thing because the US is good and the US does good things. And that's like the starting point that he operates from.
They deploy the equivalent of an entire new British Navy every 4 years. Every 4 years, like new British Navy, like new Royal Navy every 4 years. Yeah, they're just growing very quickly. This report is concerned about China's growing strength and military footprint.
Scary, scary Chinese people. Line up and yell. Be afraid.
How China is coercing its neighbors, disregarding ocean boundaries, testing missiles, bullying fishing vessels in other countries' waters.
Like, you can literally, like, even if we take everything he's saying here at face value, this is an American who supports American imperialism saying this shit, right? Like, okay, like one single, like, American fucking coup in, like, Latin America is worse than all of this shit combined. Like, come on, man. The US, like, invades half the fucking Middle East and kills millions of people. And, like, it's like China, like, builds some structures on some abandoned islands that piss off the Philippines and Vietnam. Is that the best he got?
Building islands and military bases on those islands and flying over other countries' airspace. And especially in Taiwan, the island that China claims as their own and where the globe gets nearly all of their advanced microchips, which is a topic I made an entire video about. The point is, Taiwan is an incredibly important island for the United States. All of this together makes China, quote, the only country that has the intent and power to actually challenge the US-led global order and rewrite global rules and norms, something the US has gotten really comfortable doing over the last 7 years. So this is why the US considers China the most consequential strategic competitor for coming decades. And they've created a plan to respond. And in their words, we cannot delay. They give themselves this 10-year window to implement some major changes.
Johnny Harris just reads what, like, the US government says at face value. That's, I mean, basically sums this up. That's what the video is, right? It's been like 5 minutes of this now.
And this is what it looks like. Okay, first things first. The US military is...
Like, why? I don't understand this mentality of, like, there's another nation, country, whatever, that's economically rising in comparison with the United States.
Losing Bravo.
Why does that automatically have to, like, translate into threat, competition? Why don't we work together? Why do we have to fight? What's the point? Because America's the best. Just shut the fuck up. What does that even mean, asshole? Let's work together and make the world cool. Instead of, like, fight and make the world suck. Stupid.
Already very present in Asia. We've got about 8,000 troops in Guam. We've got over 100 bases in Japan with about 21,000 American troops on the mainland and another 24,000 stationed down here on the Japanese island of Okinawa. Go up to South Korea and you'll find 22,000 US troops. And then you've got the US Navy who operates out of this port in Singapore. This has been the status.
This is like just a map of like rape in Asia, basically. Just a map of like the hotspots of rape all over Asia, basically, is what these US bases are. This is where all the like, you know, the highest rate of rape happens is anywhere there's US soldiers.
Quo in Asia for decades, and it has been the way that the US has ensured security for its allies, and it's kind of mostly worked to help secure American.
Yep, the US has ensured security for its allies, right? The US just ensures security for its allies. Just a little small beam that helps out its nice allies. There's no malintent here. The US is just here to defend its allies.
Like, why is cooperation, international cooperation, always off the table? That's, here we go, hey, play the game. While I'm ranting about fucking nationalism, I'm fucking murdering with my shotgun. I still have my holiday calling card and emblem up. I need to take, it's the Call of Duty equivalent of leaving your Christmas lights up well into January. So hey, let's get out of this lobby and let's change my calling card, my emblem, and let's get into 2025 with it, okay? But what was I saying? Oh yeah, why is international cooperation always off the table? Why is it like not a thing? Why doesn't anyone ever consider it ever? You know why? Because people are fucking stupid. That's why. Yeah, why have a nice planet with everyone getting along, working together to create a nice planet? Let's just fight constantly. Idiots. Fucking idiots. It all comes from crackers. Fuck you, white people. This all comes from crackers. You made this shit happen. Fuck off. I'll say that as a crackery cracker. Fuck crackers. You're the problem. You've caused. You should just take a back seat. All crackers should shut the fuck up, take a back seat, and let BIPOC people take over. And let's just sit back and watch the world get better instead of trying to do what white people do and just fucking fuck bullshit up because they're stupid and they're still in essentially a 17th century mentality. Well, like 18th century, but you know, a colonial mentality. Crackers are still in a colonial mentality. And in my opinion, a colonial mentality is white people know what the fuck they're talking about at any time. They don't. Stop listening to fucking stupid white people. White people don't know what they're talking about. Obviously. We've been running the show for centuries. Look how fucked everything is. Stop listening to stupid white people. Look how bad we fuck shit up. And it's just now it's gonna get worse. Guess who's still in charge in America? Crackers. We're still in charge now, even more than ever. Watch shit get fucking shittier. Exponentially shit. Exponential shit. Can you imagine that? Imagine poop come out of your butt and then it starts coming out at an exponential rate. That's America right now. Love it. You know, a lot of Americans were pretty happy with being Americans 20, 30 years ago. Now it's yikes. Can someone please teach me Mandarin? Because apparently the only place in the world where they know how to get shit done It's on literally on the like it's on the screen. You can't see it. It's a little small, but it's the topic of this video. They're trying to make it out like they're a threat. I mean, they've developed affordable electric cars. Why are we letting nationalism get in the way of everyone driving that fucking car? Pride is fucked. It gives you nothing. White people? White? Not even a thing. I'm Anglo. My family came from England. Okay, we didn't come from fucking White-topia or white Afghanistan. White ain't a thing. White didn't come until black. Because black's a thing. You know what black is? Black is people who were stolen, have been stripped of their ancestry, thrown into America to make white people money. And that's where their history begins. Because everything before that, wiped out. That's what being black is. And indigenous and POCs are everyone else on the planet that aren't fucking crackers. And crackers should shut the fuck up. Crackers should shut the fuck up. The planet is in a very, very bad situation. If white people being in charge was a good thing, we wouldn't be in this situation, would we? People should shut the fuck up. We had a good run. Euros. Whatever kind of Euro you are. The former colonial powers of England, France, Spain. And then what would you even call America? The imperialist superpowers that rose out of colonialism. The most powerful country in history came out of a colonial settler state. I'm sure some fucking asshole cracker Nazis would take pride in that, but you really shouldn't, asshole. It's fucked up. It's weird. Just like you fascist fuck. Weird fascist fuck. My gloves are off, man. Come for me. I don't care. I'm willing to die fighting fascists. You know why? Because you want to kill everybody. You want everybody to die. No. You die, asshole, fascist, Nazi, cunt. You die. Everyone else should live. Eat a dick, Nazi. Love you.
You know, Japan from Newsflash, but like the biggest thing that Japan needs to be defended from is the US, so not sure about that one.
And deter conflict. The US has maintained strong alliances in this region. And frankly, the Pentagon has kind of been distracted with other things. 2 wars that happened in the Middle East over the past 20 years.
My fellows. He just like glosses over this. How can you like list China like building fake islands off its coast and then like 2 minutes later talk about like killing millions of people in the Middle East and act like the US are like remotely the good guys in this situation?
They're getting worked up there. Buddha teaches us that anger
But as those conflicts wind down, and as China militarizes, the Department of Defense says that this status quo, all of these troops in Asia, it's not enough. They talk about this new kind of deterrence, integrated deterrence, the only kind of military posture that will actually keep China at bay. And this is what it looks like.
Why should China be kept at bay? Why? Why? So that the US can be the global hegemon and like do more Iraqs and more Afghanistans that you just talked about? Why? Why is this a desirable thing? No explanation. It's just kind of assumed by default.
The smallest part of the strategy has to do with
in just the last couple of months,
they're going to reopen a base in Guam and move some troops there. But the majority of this strategy has to do with American
super
allies
harsh
in
and doesn't
Asia,
give a fuck.
allies that are in
And I don't
lockstep
agree with him on every
US's
take,
goal to
like literally every take.
and contain China. The
But
Pentagon is partnering with its allies at the center of gravity for this strategy. So let's start with Japan, one of the US's closest allies in the region. Japan is a country that is deeply concerned about a more powerful China, with its massive navy and its ambitions to...
Let's just completely gloss over the history of Japan and China here. Japan is massively concerned with China. Yeah. It's like fucking saying like, I don't know, like the USA is massively concerned about fucking Native Americans or something. Like Japan is massively concerned about its colonial victims actually being able to do something back to it finally.
And it's very easy to forget that Japan isn't just this. It's actually all of this. It extends way down here because of all these islands. These islands curve nicely all the way down till they hit Taiwan. All of these are Japanese islands. I mean, if you look at Japan's
not for long if we can help it
national defense strategy translated into English, you will see something that looks strikingly similar to what the Pentagon released. They're both really freaked out.
I mean, obviously, Japan is it's not that they're both really freaked out. This is not some neutral thing where like country balls get together and like get scared of like the growing China country ball or whatever. And they say like broken English shit about how scared they are of China and how they need self-defense from it. It's fucking geopolitics. Japan is a fucking US vassal state. It has been since the end of the Second World War because it was literally fucking occupied by the US. So of course, its defense strategy is the exact same as the fucking US's war strategy because that's what it's for. It's there militarily, geopolitically, to project force for the US in the region, or to at least let the US project force.
About China, and they both are ready to act in lockstep to deter a more aggressive China in the region. So it starts up here with that island that we talked about at the beginning, Magashima, this new military base and airstrip to be used by both Japanese and US militaries. Further south is Amami Island, where Japan has recently added long-range missiles and anti-ship missiles. Potentially they're going to add cruise missiles. These are missiles that they're buying from the United States. These are missiles that are definitely in range of the Taiwan Strait. Next to the chain is Okinawa, where the US has a huge presence of tens of thousands of troops already.
Oh, wait, hold on, we gotta fix that.
In range of the Taiwan Strait. Next to the chain is Okinawa, where the US has a huge presence of tens of thousands of
rapists
already. Japan also has military bases here and is adding even more long-range missiles and electronic warfare units for military installations meant to disrupt and deny communication signals. On these two islands down here, they're adding even more long-range missiles.
Wait, is Shinzo Abe 1 year anniversary? What a great fucking time to watch a video related to Japan.
Which could potentially be used to attack Chinese naval ships and aircraft. And Japan is placing nearly 600 troops on Ishigaki as well. And finally, you've got this last militarized island in the chain, Yonaguni. It's the closest island.
This guy like just presents like, you know, US vassal states doing things on behalf of the US like it's some sort of like, wow, like fucking revelation, like, oh my God, I never could have seen this coming.
To Taiwan. And here Japan is adding more of those electronic warfare units, which are used to jam communications.
It's just like so condescending, like it's for children. It really is just for kids.
Or to listen in on their communications. You know, they're right next to China. Japan is also positioning more troops here. So this is the first part of our chain. And when paired with training that Japan and US troops are doing to simulate island and amphibious warfare, it sends a really strong signal to China that Japan is ready to respond if needed. This line also serves as like a physical barrier that any Chinese ship or submarine would have to pass through in order to access the Pacific Ocean. It's a line that Japan can easily control and monitor. And it also builds a wall of to access the pond.
I see a problem with this claim. I see an issue with this claim.
And monitor.
I see an issue with that claim. Okay, here I'm going to show you the issue with that claim. Right, do you see my cursor? I think that's the problem with that claim. Yeah, it doesn't look like a very sound claim to me. It looks like a claim that is rated pants on fire untrue, in my opinion.
And it also builds a wall of missiles. Any calculus that China is making on whether or not to invade Taiwan or to do anything in the region will have to now factor in this wall of missiles ready to roll. Overall, this increased military presence on this chain of islands gives Japan, and by extension the United States, the ability to monitor.
What was that flag?
Ready to roll. Overall, this increased military presence on this chain of islands gives Japan, and by extension the United States, the ability to monitor
an Imperial Japanese flag for a second. Am I wrong?
Ready to roll. Overall, this increased military presence.
Yeah. What the fuck? The Navy still uses like that fucking flag? You see that? I didn't know that. That's fucked up. Wow, they really love their fucking genocide in Japan, don't they?
military presence on this chain of islands gives Japan, and by extension the United States, the ability to monitor communications and troop movements of China, preparing them to act quickly. And it also gives them the ability to pre-position troops and supplies throughout the region, which is a major logistical advantage. But all of this...
Is it even called the Navy? Surely, like, they call it like the Japanese Naval Defense Forces or some shit, like some euphemism. No, it's the Japan. Sorry, it's not the Navy. It's the Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force. Sorry, guys. They don't have a Navy. They just have a Maritime Self-Defense Force with, you know, the fucking Imperial well, it's not like exactly the Japanese flag, right? The Imperial Japanese flag. It's kind of similar. No, it is. It is the exact same. I didn't realize the original was off-center as well. I always thought it was centered, but no, it's the exact same. It's the same fucking flag. Wow, that's that's a bit on the nose.
Comes with a massive price tag. So Japan, which is formerly a pacifist nation without like a huge military, is actually planning to double their defense spending. They're spending
They were formerly a pacifist nation.
way more on buying weapons than they ever have before, and 97% of those weapons are coming from the United States.
It's almost like they're just doing it because the US wants them to, obviously.
The island chain strategy continues down here with the Philippines, close to Taiwan and close to the South China Sea. The US knows that it needs to bolster its presence here, but it's not as straightforward as it is in Japan.
So what is this video? It's like a video where he's just like outlining what the US military does or wants to do, as if it's like by default a good thing. He's just like telling you like dryly that they're doing this stuff. It's like someone, it's honestly, it's pretty close to someone like talking about like how Hitler is massing like troops on the border with Poland, like dryly with like flashy sound effects and editing and shit. It's just so weird. It's just such a, like, I can say that about like half of Johnny Harris's video. It's just so fucking weird. Like, what is this even about? It's just bizarre to me.
The Philippines was a U.S. colony for decades. It's a very sensitive history. And even after Filipino independence, the U.S. maintained a military presence in the Philippines until like the 90s. And then they eventually kicked out the U.S., as many saw it as just an enduring legacy of U.S. colonialism. But a more aggressive China has become a major threat to the Philippines. Now listen, I'm not going to go into like a full South China Sea thing here, but just know that China claims all of this as their maritime boundary. It's literally a line with 9 dashes that some Chinese official in 1948 drew by hand on a map. This line blasts
some Chinese official in 1948. Interesting
Citation
news for
needed.
you guys about who was in power in 1948. Like, I bet you if I Google this, like 9-dash line, the guy who drew it.
What's the citation? We need a citation
like,
there.
An ROC government official, like a US, Western aligned government official. But now that the Chinese government,
The way like anti-communists try to downplay shit is pathetic. But the thing is, like, morons eat it up. Because why? Because they're morons. And thinking's hard. It's hard to think. Ow, reading a book, that's hard. Ow, my head. Ow, it's so hard.
isn't on their side, they're against it. Yep, the Minister of Interior of the nationalist government. So, like,
recognizes as the Filipino territorial waters. So there's a conflict in the ocean. And now, on a daily basis, Filipino fishing vessels are harassed by Chinese military vessels who threaten them if they don't leave their waters. In 2022, China put a temporary stop to all fishing in the South China Sea, denying the Philippines' ability to fish in the West Philippine Sea.
Tell them to go fucking cry in their pile of American dollars.
I don't particularly think the South China Sea shit is good of China or anything, but why? You know, what is it that makes it their waters? What is it that makes it not China's? Like explain it. Because the fact of the matter is that these are just two states with competing claims to territorial waters. And you can't just kind of say, well, it's theirs. Why? Like, give us some explanation for that. Like, just your word? What is it that makes it theirs and not China's? Tell us.
Chinese Navy is like full-blown just bullying the Philippines. They like show up with lasers to harass and blind Filipino ships. I mean, let's remember, the Philippines is a much smaller nation than China and doesn't really have a navy even close to what China has. So now they're in this impossible decision.
This is like American projection personified. This is the biggest projection I've ever seen in my life.
To choose between giving up their sovereignty and fishing rights to their aggressive neighbor, China, or partnering with their former colonizer who also wants to repel China. And in this case, they chose the latter.
I mean, it's not really like that. is it? Because it's not like by partnering with the US, they're going to be able to just stop China from doing what they're already doing in the South China Sea. It's going to keep happening. Like, what is the US going to do? Are they going to fucking like attack like the Chinese ships that are claiming the area or whatever? I don't think that's going to happen.
China has pushed too hard. It's pushed the Philippines in the South China Sea, what they call the West Philippine Sea.
The Philippines is planning to boost its military presence in the disputed South China Sea.
It started in 2014 when they allowed the U.S. back in for the first time in 22 years. The U.S. presence will technically be in bases that are owned by the Philippines, but the U.S. can have troops, build barracks, and other military installations, and can have pre-positioned supplies there as well. It's basically like the U.S. has bases there, but it's like, shh, it's actually the Philippines. And as part of all of this that we've been talking about, in late 2022, they expanded their agreement, giving the U.S. military access to 4 more bases, bringing the total number of bases on the Philippines up.
Man, it sure sucks that China is so fucking aggressive. Fucking sucks that China is so fucking aggressive and the US is just forced to build all of these military bases on the other side of the world to stop the evil China from being aggressive. God damn it.
Stop being so aggressive.
And look where they selected to put them, here in the north of the country, strategically close to Taiwan, and helping fill their gap in their island chain that they're creating. This now allows the U.S. to have a military presence really close to Taiwan. The U.S. trains very closely with their Filipino counterparts, making them ready to respond very quickly to an invasion in Taiwan, while also repelling Chinese bullying of Filipino fishing activity. Okay, so now the island chain is filling out, giving the U.S. an
How the fuck did I come into the middle of a game?
Like bases there.
What's happening? Is Call of Duty really that down bad?
How? Are they actually deploying from those bases to like attack the ships? No, they're not. They're not repelling shit. They're just kind of there.
Regional partners a solid blockade to the Pacific, and it continues all the way down around the South China Sea because of the U.S. presence in Singapore. This is a very united front, but it doesn't stop here.
All the worst countries in the world right here. Look at these fucking losers. God.
The last part of the strategy is potentially the most significant, and it has to do with Australia, a country.
And it has to do with Western colonial racist mass genocide states.
That is also alarmed by China's rise in the region. So there's this military pact between the US, the UK, and Australia. It's called AUKUS. What it means is that these 3 countries will work together to create a unified submarine.
This is the funniest thing ever because Australia is completely fucking reliant on China. Like tomorrow, if China just cut all trade with Australia, Australia would collapse instantly. It would just like explode. And China would barely notice it. So, I don't know how they spin this one.
Force that will patrol the Pacific. First, what it means is that the U.S. is giving nuclear submarine technology, its most powerful and advanced weapon, freely to Australia. Here.
They didn't give it for free. They paid for it. It was $368 billion. It was $368 billion. So Australia spent like a fifth of its fucking total GDP on submarines. A fifth of its total fucking yearly GDP on submarines. Like, holy fuck. He just said that it was like free. Why? What are these submarines for? We need submarines to protect us from China, our #1 trading partner, the country that our economy is completely reliant on. We need to protect our trade from China. There's a great skit about that on some SBS show or something. Like, it's just completely fucking illogical. The whole reason they did this is just to satisfy the fucking US. To give the US, the arms manufacturers of the US basically a massive subsidy. These submarines are never going to do anything. They're going to do nothing. If they actually get delivered and become operational, like, that would surprise me. It's fucking nothing.
Here are the designs to our most powerful weapons. Take them, foreign country. And then the U.S.
Holy shit, like, that is the least accurate depiction of what actually happened I've ever seen in my life. That is the least accurate description of that deal that I've ever seen in my life. They were just like, hey, other country, here, have our best top secret submarines all for free, is how Johnny Harris put it. Holy fuck, man. That's incredible.
And UK will base submarines out of this port here in Australia. It's called Perth. Australian sailors will ride alongside.
It's called Perth.
US and UK sailors during submarine deployments. They will learn together, they will work together, they will share classified intelligence.
They will do nothing together ever, aside from train.
What this means is that there will be a significantly larger number of submarines patrolling these waters. And
when? These submarines are probably never going to actually become operational. This is never going to happen.
Remember, these are nuclear-powered submarines, which we made a whole video on.
Like, by the time these submarines are, like, actually in action, all of this shit will have probably blown over. Like, this is not going to happen.
As well, these things can be underwater for months. They can go on these long patrols over to Taiwan.
I mean, Australia doesn't have to feel. Australia is like the least invadable country in the entire world, aside from probably the US itself. It's a massive island. and like 99% of its coast is nowhere near anything. Like the Japanese assessed during World War II that invading Australia was a fucking impossible task. If the Japanese Empire,
China will never
that they
attack
could not
Australia,
feasibly invade
period.
Australia, China certainly isn't going to be able to fucking invade Australia.
The South China Sea, they can close up these key choke points, plugging holes in their growing line against China. And, crucially, we can be pretty damn certain that a lot of these submarines will be carrying nuclear weapons, adding yet another layer of deterring power to an already really powerful line of defense. And if this wasn't enough, Australia is also building a permanent hangar for US B-52 bombers up here in the Tyndall Air Base in northern Australia.
Man, Australia is just a cucked US proxy state.
US bombers carry conventional weapons, but they also carry nukes. So now, US bombers carrying nuclear weapons will have a permanent home in Australia.
Are they actually going to be carrying I seriously doubt they would let them carry nukes. Like, that seems a bit much. Nuclear capable bombers. Oh yeah, they are. They actually did. Holy shit, Australia is the most cucked country in the world. They are actually allowing not just nuclear capable planes, but planes actually equipped with nuclear weapons to use Australia as a base. That's the most cucked, pathetic little shitty country in the whole world. Holy fuck, man. Absolute cuckoldery right there. The US is just fucking Australia's wife right in front of Australia while it just sits there in the corner smiling. Unbelievable.
There'll be a lot more military hardware in the Pacific because of this. Hardware that carries the most powerful and dangerous weapons we have. This is a very aggressive signal to China that the West is ready. So now, if you look at the whole thing, this whole chain, you see how robust.
Remember when like the Soviet Union did this in Cuba, and it's like seen as like the worst thing to ever happen in the entire world, and like Johnny Harris like talked with like the enthusiasm of like an 11-year-old child talking about Goku achieving Super Saiyan for the first time in Dragon Ball Z while talking about the US doing it to China. Says a lot.
Plus, this presence is. This is what that military official meant by transformative. The military name for this is the First Island Chain, and it is at the heart of the US and its allies' strategy to counter and contain China. And it's easy to see that this island chain, while protecting a lot of different interests for a lot of different countries, really centers on Taiwan. A major purpose for all of this militarization, the missiles, the subs, the air bases, the troops, is to prepare for conflict in Taiwan. And this is where
it's really just because China has become like the only country even remotely close to the US's level of like hegemonic global power, and they want to stop that. It's not so much about Taiwan. They want to frame it as just defending Taiwan. No, you don't fucking sell Australia $368 billion worth of submarines to defend Taiwan. Australia is not really close to Taiwan at all, my friend.
We get to the paradox of deterrence. You prepare to fight so that you don't have to fight. All of this preparation might be just what is needed for China to decide that it would be too costly to invade.
And now Johnny Harris is like, this is actually good, because doing all of this shit, it means that there won't actually be a war. So technically, the US military is actually good and great. The only thing that's stopping a war is the US military selling trillions and trillions of dollars of military hardware to its vassal states. Thank God for the USA.
But the other side of that paradox is that all of this looks an awful lot like overt escalation in a conflict. If you're China, this change.
Oh, it looks like it, right? 18 minutes in, he's like, maybe this actually isn't that good of an idea. After like just fucking soy facing over it.
Enemy trying to box you in, to monitor your every move. A superpower from the other side of the world flooding your region with more military hardware to stop your influence. It would be impossible for this plan to not contribute to a rising of tensions between the two superpowers.
All this as the U.S. prepares for a potential conflict with China.
How close are we to all-out conflict between the world's two largest superpowers?
继续沿着错误的道路狂飙下去，再多的护栏也挡不住脱轨翻车，陷入对抗冲突。
What is it with fucking Chinese government officials and always talking in these fucking riddles, man?
飙下去，再多的护栏。
Is he actually saying this, or is it just like a fucking dumb translation? I really hope they don't actually say this sort of thing. Just fucking say, USA, stop deploying military hardware near us. Don't talk about guardrails and derailing, please. Look at his outfit. It's great.
Xi Jinping has.
Man, look. Wait. The camouflage works. The camouflage fucking works. Did you see that? You could not see his head there. Look at that. Look at that camouflage. This is high level technology. I gotta say though, I'm not a fan of the camo here, but here, like, look at him. He looks like he doesn't have like the part where his brain is supposed to be. It's just gone. That's high level camouflage.
King has already called this a policy of encirclement and suppression. And let's be honest, he's right. Whether you like it or not, this is containment. Old school Cold War style containment. It's hard not to see it when you look at this map. And the Chinese foreign minister said that it would literally be impossible for China to not fight back, to take a move that retaliates against this move. Which means that if the US and its allies aren't careful with all of this, it may send a signal to China that now is the time to invade Taiwan before all of this plan can fully be implemented.
He's still like trying to
In that
frame it
sense,
as if China, you know, China would still sort of be the aggressor here. It's just like the way that China sees it, that's really the problem. It was all good up until like we add in the variable of how China might react. And then it's like, it's not that this is wrong in any other way. The only thing that makes it wrong is that China might actually try to stop it.
strategy could provoke the very conflict that it is trying to deter.
And imagine how much money Johnny Harris could make from that.
Team deathmatch. Playtime's over. Let's see what you're made of.
Okay, thanks to Greg Pauling of the Center for Strategic and International Studies, which just, you know, is like a think tank that just like posts about how awesome NATO is and how the US military is epic and based. So yeah, no problem. Thanks, guys. Another Johnny Harris banger. I enjoyed that a lot. Johnny Harris, he was so fucking excited for that. It's like he just caught his favorite Pokemon. So there is like this trend among online creators, I guess influencers, e-celebrities, that also mirrors what happens with real celebrities, with groupies and stuff, where like they actively seek out basically sexual interactions from people in their audience who are already predisposed to like them, predisposed to sort of be more susceptible to their advances. You know, obviously because they have like this impression of the character they play on the internet that has given them like a preconceived notion of who you are and what you are. And when you talk to them, that makes them feel special, and that puts them in sort of a vulnerable position where it's a lot easier for you to sort of coerce them into fucking you, basically. And Destiny has had a bunch of people come forward saying that he basically did that to them, which is not really surprising if you had already seen like the chat logs, like the recent leaks of his revenge porn, all that sort of stuff. The guy seems like just completely and totally obsessed with sex. And he seeks it out from his audience. Like he basically seeks people out in his audience, gives them special attention, pays for them to fly over and fuck him, and then discards them afterwards. So there was this tweet by someone who said that Destiny flirts with women in his audience to discord or ignore them once he loses interest. And this is a thread, and I don't want to have to screenshot this for every single tweet in the thread. But basically this person says that she liked his YouTube content and she ended up asking him for an autograph after like a debate that he had. And then after that, like Destiny started paying her special attention and stuff. And specifically like Destiny got her phone number after they met one or two times, like kind of by coincidence initially. You know, she was at events that he was at and stuff like that. And she got texts because Destiny asked his assistant for her number. And she didn't know who this person was at the time, she says. And then later on, she says that she reached out to his cameraman and he confirmed that this was Destiny. So this is an example of Destiny reaching out to people in his audience, like looking to hit on them. Someone else who said that the same thing happened to them. He tried to sleep with me as well and completely ditched me as a friend when I wouldn't. Orbiter or not, I think it's extremely problematic to want to fuck every single female you come into contact with. And in like the leaked chat logs of Destiny having with another one of his fans, he was just constantly like pressuring her, hey, I'll fly you out and we can, you know, wink, wink, wink. I have a whole folder on it. Let me show you. I can always fly you around to places I'm going to visiting. I have no idea if it's scary for you or anything though. Hey, if you ever want to come visit me, just let you know and I'll pay for the ticket. I'll even pick you up from the airport. Let me know if you ever want to fly down for a night or two. And basically, like, being like a niche internet celebrity has given people like, it's very weird to me as well because I don't know who these people are who get obsessed with niche internet celebrities, but it gives these people like a unique opportunity to like get with people who already sort of have like a very positive initial view of them based on watching their content and like having an imagined idea of what they're like and stuff, and you know, also feeling like cool and special when they get attention from someone who seems important. And a lot of those people take advantage of that. A lot of them, really, a lot of them, they just try to fuck their fans all the time, basically. Like Destiny's ex-wife was like the girlfriend of one of his fans or something. I think she was a fan as well. I don't think the guy has ever, like, I've seen nothing but him like going out and like seeking out people who already know who he is from the internet, or who are his fans, or like orbiters you would call them. And I mean, I can kind of understand that because imagine Destiny trying to like pick up someone and like come off as like an interesting person to them or whatever, when they didn't already have like a preconceived notion of him, and they also weren't very stupid. I don't think there's much of a chance of that ever happening. So yeah, I guess it's easier to seek out like fucking impressionable 19-year-old girls from your audience and like shower them with praise and compliments, and desperately trying to get them down for like a one-night stand with you or something, just to use them. Cool. But yeah, this is a wider problem than just Destiny, but he's the one for whom this sort of, I've seen this sort of thing recently. So I wanted to mention it because it's something that I've noticed beforehand. Like niche internet celebrities, this has been a thing forever with real celebrities, make no mistake. That's what the whole groupie thing is. Like celebrities, you know, after a show or whatever, like singers or whatever, bands or whatever, would like get like tons of impressionable, often underage girls to come in backstage and make them feel special so they could fuck them. This is that sort of thing, but for the digital age. And it's even more pathetic, honestly.
We've lost Charlie.
Anyway, did you hear that there was some blowback in the USA? Well, not really blowback, because I don't really think that either of the guys who like did attacks in the last couple of days did it because they're outraged about Gaza or anything. One guy who blew up a Tesla Cybertruck outside Trump Tower, but that guy was like an active duty military intelligence guy who do not fucking know what that was about. And the other guy who was also an active duty military guy, but has an Arab name and had an ISIS flag, and apparently also wasn't a Muslim and recently converted to Islam a year ago, and then like drove a car through a Christmas market. So that's weird. Oh, no, a New Year's celebration. But he was like still in the military. Like his still active job on LinkedIn, I believe, was some military role. Suspect inspired by ISIS, which is still funny that they're going with this, given that ISIS, for all intents and purposes, barely even exists outside of Africa, which isn't even, you know, the actual main ISIS group. So he was a US-born citizen from Texas named Shamsuddin Jabbar, and he had like an ISIS flag, and apparently he had recently converted to Islam and all that stuff. But he was also, was a US military veteran who recently converted to Islam, according to this New York Times article, and then like drives a car into a Christmas market. Honestly, seems like a psyop to me. New Orleans attacker discussed plans to kill his family and join ISIS in chilling recordings, and having dreams that helped inspire him to join it. It just sounds like your typical like mass murderer guy who claims to have like visions or whatever that told him to do it. Except in this case, he latched on to like the boogeyman in the US. Like this is a fucking army veteran who killed Muslims in Afghanistan, and he wasn't Muslim himself. And his brother said he's never understood what it meant to be a Muslim. He was never religious or anything like that. He served in the military and was deployed to Afghanistan. And in 2020, he was a real estate agent, apparently. This just sounds like someone who like got divorced and turned to like the closest thing he could find, which in this case was like, ooh, radical Islam. That's hated here, isn't it? Time to do a terrorist attack. And it was interesting because people were saying that the same company that rented him the car used in that attack also rented the Tesla Cybertruck that blew up outside Trump Towers. And that was like the story behind that one's like completely different. Like it was a guy who claimed to have been involved in military intelligence who had knowledge of like UFOs, and he claimed like the recent drones over parts of the US and US military bases in Europe are actually like Chinese drones with a special new kind of propulsion that no one knows exists yet except the US military and China, which, you know, doesn't sound, you know, I would take that with a grain of salt, given that he was clearly not in a good place, given that he just suicide bombed Trump Tower in a Tesla Cybertruck, which I think is as good a sign as any that you're not really well in the head. But it's kind of just seems like two very weird coincidences that these, what seems to be two attacks, obviously the New Year's attack was, the car attack was an attack, but the second one, like, why would you just blow yourself up outside of Trump Towers with an improvised bomb that clearly was not very effective in a Tesla Cybertruck and not really kill anyone or do anything like that? Maybe they knew each other or something and we don't know about it yet. Maybe it's two false flags, like victims of MK Ultra. Who knows? You never know. It just seems very fucking suspicious that these seemingly unrelated attacks were both carried out with vehicles rented from the same provider, like within 24 hours of each other, both by military. One was active military, the other was a veteran, who are apparently both from the same area as well. So maybe calling it blowback is a bit inaccurate. I don't think guy who just converted to Islam a year ago, according to himself, and like thought that he had visions to tell him to do ISIS terror attacks, is particularly concerned with US foreign policy when carrying out those attacks. But it could also just be like a pre-Trump false flag being carried out in order to legitimize like a future Trump scare campaign against Muslims, which it may be, honestly. Gotta love the American repurposing of anti-Semitism to use against Muslims, all in service of defending the mighty Israel and legitimizing their imperialism overseas. Hallelujah. I need slop. Wait, whatever happened to Dennis Prager? Why haven't I looked into that? Let's check out if PragerU has anything to say about it, or anything. Have they been uploading new videos? Attending a gender studies class to challenge it? How is Dennis Prager still uploading fireside chat videos? Isn't he like in hospital, like desperately fighting for his life? They must have pre-recorded like Dennis Prager fireside chat lectures to last them fucking years, because they've been uploading Dennis Prager videos like daily while he's supposed to be like, you know, he's like 80 years old and he broke his hip or whatever. That's like, you know, he's obviously not in the state to be making fireside chat videos anymore. So these must all be pre-recorded like years ago. Even after he's gone, he's going to regale us with his fireside chats for like 5 years. Maybe they have clones, like they have clones for Biden. Apparently there is a new PragerU 5-minute video about how awesome George W. Bush was. George H.W. Bush. Oh wait, no, that's the first George Bush. The first George Bush is bad enough, but I was really hoping for George W. Bush, not his dad. Not interesting enough for me. Is there any update on Dennis Prager's health? That's what I'm up for. That's what I'm here for. Dennis Prager. I need him alive and well. And if he dies, they should put his head in like the thing from Futurama so that he can keep making videos. Who gives an update on Dennis Prager after his visit to see him? I don't know who this is.
Morning Glory America. Bonjour.
Morning Glory America. I don't know what this is. Like a YouTube video that is in the style of like mainstream TV and he's like in his bedroom.
Hi Canada. I'm Hugh Hewitt, Studio West. I have relocated back to the Golden State as I am teaching the semester Constitutional Law 1 and 2. And I'm back on the West Coast until April. And so I bring you that West Coast vibe as we get ready for California.
Shut up. I want to know about Dennis. I need to know what's up with Dennis. Okay, so we visited Dennis. What has he got to say?
Visit Sue and Dennis Prager. I want to bring you a full update on that. But I want to begin actually.
No, we don't care about anything else. Get to the update now. We're skipping this shit. Fuck off.
From the ventilator and be able to talk and even resume his radio shows at some point. That is obviously our hope. His mind is fine. Having said that, there's also, of course, the problem of movement and the paralysis. And so right now, Dennis does not move his arms or legs. And
that is the whole of it. Dennis suffered a C3, C4 spinal injury of unknown duration. Don't know how long it's going to go on for. He's off the ventilator. I went and spent an hour with him yesterday. Dennis could have 20 people visiting him at any time, so you got to kind of work through Sue when you go. And I spent an hour with him yesterday. He is as funny as ever. only a different kind of funny because he can't talk yet. He has talked a little bit.
How is he funny
and hopes to be back. He doesn't want any false optimism about when, but he hopes to be back in Q1 sometime on the air. Dennis, if Dennis can talk, Dennis will be fine. I've said that from the day I heard about his injury. And he looked so much better than I expected because I've been getting secondhand reports from Ellen Esther and from everyone in the immediate aftermath of his accident 6 weeks ago. I didn't know what to expect.
So it sounds like Dennis Prager was paralyzed by his accident, yet his brilliant mind is still there, and he's going to be able to continue making PragerU slop content for years to come, probably, hopefully. So I'm happy with that. I'm glad. So I guess, yeah, he's still in hospital after his medical emergency. And PragerU really does just have Dennis Prager fireside chat videos lined up.
Hi, Dennis.
I filmed like literally fucking years ago that they just upload and upload and upload. They have these like in the pipeline forever. Like they don't even need him alive anymore except to film more of these so that they can just keep uploading them for a year or two longer. But yeah, that's the Dennis Prager health update. Pray for Dennis because PragerU is awesome and we need more of it. I do not want the mastermind behind the greatness that is PragerU gone so early at the ripe old age of like 85. It's too early. Pray for Dennis. Hashtag pray for Dennis. I guess we could also make like a Dennis Prager AI chatbot. That is a good idea.
We got a Hasanabi video here. The real reason banning TikTok. This is obviously not from English as a first language source. The real reason banning TikTok. Like that's not grammatically. I mean, I respect whatever, dude. Wherever you're from, bro, God bless you. Sweet Jesus, God bless you, you sweet little angel. Make that money. Who gives a shit? It don't hurt me at the end of the day if someone in Indonesia is making money off of Hasanabi videos or Russia or wherever. Don't give a fuck. Peace and love. Do your thing. Oh shit. 7:30. I might have to jump into some DMZ. Be right back. You throw this up, brah. Oh, I wonder if they might pick me up pissing. Give my cats some greenies. The greenies, so peeing out. $31. What is the Billy? Tonight or what? Ooh, I think you are. Sorry for all the chewing. You know, I know I pulled it up to the camera before, but I am eating manzella, Japanese style peanuts, baked in Mexico. Brenda?
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
What's happening? How are you?
Doing all right. How are you doing? Happy Friday.
Fucking Friday, baby. Let's do this. Woo! Sorry, that was a little over the top, but I am happy it is Friday. what's happening with you? How was your day?
Not bad, not bad. I just, I don't know. What I do? Shoveled, shopped, cleaned, did a little work on GarageBand. By the way, I think I finally figured out how to record the drums.
Oh, okay, okay.
I forgot. Yeah. So instead of using the Focusrite, I have a Zoom recorder that's highly underused. Are you familiar with those Zoom
Zooms?
recorders?
Oh, of course. Yeah, some of them are really good. You can get like multi-track recordings out of them. Did you have that one for a while? I remember you had got.
Yeah.
How many?
Yeah, my brother and I went in on it together a long time ago. And you know what? To be honest, I used it to record some jams and shit, but I didn't. And I did take a lot of notes. One time, I did a lot of YouTube training, and then I kind of just didn't do much with it. Forgot about it. But it's got the stereo mics at the top, and then it's got two inputs on the bottom. And so I was doing a lot of experimenting with the drums to see, how can I make this sound good. And one real quick thing that I figured out was whenever I was recording jams and stuff, the sound didn't sound that great. It would be kind of distorted and far better than it used to be, like when I would record our band practices on a boombox. For sure better than that. But still not that great. And so I did a little research on it. And somebody was saying...
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Just kind of just muddy, muddy sounding. Everything's kind of just fucking muddy. So anyway, somebody I think on Reddit said when you're recording drums, you want to put the mic level, because you can whatever your whether it's the stereo microphones at the top or the inputs, whatever, you can set different microphone levels for each of those, whatever you want. And I always had it up high, and that was very dumb.
I mean,
Very
if
dumb.
you're pumping the gain on your recording levels, yeah, you're gonna like what is it called? It's peak or whatever. You're gonna like
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the peaks are gonna.
Are you like in the red
everything up.
when are you looking at like your recording software and like it's in the red?
Well, I didn't do, I'm just looking at the Zoom itself, which does flash red if you hit the peaks. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, so like I mean, it would have never even occurred to me had I not read this that some guys like you want to set the mic at 0.6, not even 1, like 0.6.
Wait. What do you mean 0.6? What does that even mean?
The mic level.
Oh, you mean the mic level? The mic level what in GarageBand or on the Zoom?
No,
on the Zoom.
On the Zoom.
Okay.
Yeah, on the Zoom. But
Okay.
After, so like I tried that and man, it worked great. It was like holy shit!
Great.
I can
Awesome.
actually hear the drums crystal clear, perfect. So that was key. And then I fooled around. I wasn't getting enough kick drum, which I think you were anticipating, and that was right. So I did take my microphone and I stuck it in one of the inputs. And I mic'd the kick drum from the front a little distance away.
No. Put it as close as possible, if not inside
as close
the bass.
as possible.
As close as possible, if not inside the drum.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Like put it like if
well,
you
I don't
can
have
if
a
you
hole
can
in the drum, unfortunately.
I mean if you're willing. I mean, what depends on this. It's gonna actually probably will change the sound, probably make it way more open. I'm not sure if you're looking for more tight bass drum or like a big boomy bass drum. So if you take off the front, like what is that, the head, just not even a hole, just take off the whole, and leave the front part of the bass drum
inside.
And then you can even like just lay it in there or stick it in there right in the middle, like get it right in there, make sure the mic can get it. Don't worry about, for sure. Mics, you have to make sure it gets the sound software, and when you're picking stuff up, you have to make sure you're not peaking out your level. You dig? But you definitely with the mics, with the mics, you want to get that sound. You want to get the mic as close as you can without peaking, without it distorting out or something like that. But especially with the bass drum, and I know you're a rocker. You're not playing fucking jazz or some fucking rock, light bullshit. You're rocking, so you want a pretty good bass drum going. So I would definitely recommend.
All right.
Get the mic inside that motherfucker. Either get a hole in your in the front head, or just take that shit off, stick that microphone.
Yeah, I've been meaning to buy a head that's got a hole in it. I
mean, that's not even necessary. Try it with. I mean, that's a whole lot. Experiment. Whatever's honestly, there's not really rules. It's whatever you think sounds the best. But I'm just giving you kind of practical shit. But you can get a good sound in many ways. You know what I mean? But definitely don't have it too far from the bass drum. If you're rocking, dude, either you can even experiment with the mic right up on the front. If you just want to keep it on, it will sound different. So you can be like, I actually like this sound. I think this sounds better than when I just take off the whole head and put the mic in the bass drum. That's on you. Yeah. But you definitely want to get it. You want to get it in there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I will. I'll try it that way too, for sure. It's not like I had it far away. I mean, it was 4 inches or something, but
that's not bad.
Definitely.
Actually, that's a good way that was actually probably, how did it sound?
Pretty good. Yeah. Because when I didn't have it mic'd with the microphone, it was way too soft. It was like the other thing, so I got the Zoom stereo, and I had to experiment with. A lot of people are like, the best way to do it is to dangle it over the drum set, not too high up. And then another guy's like, well, you could also do it over your right shoulder pointed kind of right directly at your drum
Whoa,
set.
no,
I tried
no,
that yesterday.
Don't do that. That sounds stupid.
Well, I did.
Oh, was it good?
I did. No.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah,
It was
no one
far
does
better, far better above. I did
Yeah,
it
of course.
Last night I did 2 takes. I did 2 takes, one with it mic'd behind my shoulder and one mic'd above. Without a doubt, mic'd above one.
Yeah, of course.
So
I mean, actually, like
I got it figured out.
you should have. Yeah, I mean, if you've got 4 inputs going, like what I would do is like definitely like one mic, basically like if you can like a mic that you can hit with your stick, like to the right of you, and another one that you can hit with your stick over your head, like to the left. You know what I mean? Like that kind of angle, like just right above you, to the right and to the left, and get that stereo sound, you know, and really try to mix that in. Put a mic on the snare drum, like right on there. Put a mic in the bass drum, and that should do you good. If there are circumstances where you make that like it's not enough, you need to mic the toms because your toms aren't hitting as hard as you want them to. That's a whole different story, but I feel like you can get away with a 2 overhead. You're gonna have 2 overhead anyway, and you're just gonna trying to mix in the toms depending on how much tom work you're doing. You know what I mean? But like the kick and the snare are important. You want those in the mix. You know, you want to have full control of those 2. So those need mics. You know, and the fact that you got 4
down
inputs
the
is
road.
perfect. I mean, if you
I
need
got the inputs, I don't.
I've
I
got
don't
mics
have
if
the
you need
mics or
any.
the-
I've got mics if you need them. I got some Shure 58s.
Well,
They're
I mean-
perfect.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, maybe I'm just what I'm doing is I'm doing a cover of Teenage Lobotomy. I'm doing my parody cover, Teenage Conspiracy. So I'm fucking with that. That's the project. So I need I'm gonna see how this goes. I think it's gonna work. I imported the drums into GarageBand tonight. I haven't tweaked it yet, but I think it's going to work for the purposes of what I'm doing right now. But yes, down the road, if I keep doing this stuff, I will want to get.
The
snares.
Yeah, as long as you can like hear everything really well, that's like what you need when you're recording. And I'm gonna be honest, like I don't know if you've ever messed with compression or if you mess with the limiter at all. In my opinion, like the mastering of it, like to get it all sounding together, put it all on one track, and then slap a limiter on that and bust up the gain till like it just. That's all I can recommend.
And the other thing I wanted to mention, the Zoom has some mixing stuff on it too. So one nice thing you can do is I record at that really low level. And the drums sound fine, but then you can hit normalize, it's called, and it will bring up all the sound up to peak level before.
Oh wow! So it's like a
just
like an automatic compressor, essentially. That's great.
Yeah, so I normalize the file. That brings it all up to a nice even and louder.
And like are you looking at the levels
yeah.
like in GarageBand? Are you throwing into GarageBand after that?
Yet.
Not yet. Okay. So you're listening to everything right off of the. You're listening to everything just right off of the
Zoom for the moment.
Like,
yeah, I mean, I gave one quick listen on GarageBand of the drums, and it sounded okay to me there. But I haven't tweaked. I just got started with GarageBand.
It sounds like you got a really great foundation going. Honestly, if you've got that leveling on the Zoom, that sounds super nice. And I'm sure, like if it translates over to GarageBand well, it sounds like you're well on your way. I'd very much enjoy hearing what you got once you're done.
Cool. Yeah. I just decided I'm going to do the bass, the drums, and the vocals, and I'm going to have my brother probably do the guitar. I'll get him over here and then just put it all together and see what it sounds like.
That's awesome. Cool.
Anyway.
No, that's great. I need this kind of inspiration to start working on. I have not been, but I've got it in my head, the approach, which in my experience is like very important to have. You have to like have a plan before you jump in to be like super productive. At least for me.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, it's.
But it's
Get it.
But
I'm always doing a lot of research before I do this. 'Cause I mean, not
recording.
a lot.
I mean, it's essential to, especially if you're like producing like your own, like doing some bedroom office producing. You have to do research. If you don't do research, you're either like a natural genius at this shit, or you're just you're making garbage.
Right, it's gonna sound like crap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it did, and I knew it. I was like, when I was recording at the higher level, I'm like, this doesn't sound right. Time to go on the internet, and sure enough, people have all kinds of advice.
Just so you know, I am I'm no pro. I mean, I used to play bass professionally. That was the highest level of professionality I got. I'd never recorded at a professional level. I've taken some classes at Columbia College for record production, stuff like that, and I've recorded an album in a professional studio with a producer and I've got a little bit of experience, so if you have any questions,
for sure,
never hesitate. Just text me anytime. I love because I don't talk to anyone, and I love to talk to stuff, and I actually know about this shit.
Cool. Yeah. No, I'll tap you, I'm sure, as I go forward here. So
please do.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, sure. But holy shit, we've been talking for like 20 minutes here, man. You want to jump into a game?
Yeah. Right. Yeah, let's do it.
Talking. I like talk. I appreciate it. I literally don't do any all day long. Me and Chris like try to talk, but it's like usually like shop. But I get a feeling that like the political talk is becoming like it's like coming to a head. Like we're starting to feel like we can't talk because I'm pretty sure he's probably conservative, and I'm pretty sure he voted for Trump, and like I don't know that for sure, but like I have the feeling, and like the like if that's out in the open, like it's just going to change, especially in the upcoming days.
Yeah. You got to be careful at work. I mean, you and I knew where we were at, and we had a lot of time when no one else was around the COVID era, and that was awesome. But yeah, in a normal office situation, you can't be spouting off your political beliefs without you're gonna offend somebody or get into some trouble or something.
And like it sucks that like we in a space like that we can't have political discussions on like that might be like contested but still like productive. Are we broken up right now?
Yeah, usually you're on safe ground with being at UIC for one thing and then being in a library for the other.
Yeah, but actually not. I mean,
not necessarily.
I mean,
though,
you are probably.
Chris is a great example of that.
I mean, Anna is. I don't think like super. I think she's like kind of like a Chicago Republican, if you know what that means.
We've taken control.
Like she and she's a little bit like politically illiterate. She doesn't really, which is literally the majority of America. But like I haven't like tried this. I think I tried to talk politics before, but it didn't go anywhere. The closest we got talking about like politics really was talking about the Christopher Nolan Batman movies, which I think are like fascist, in an interesting way. I don't think they're bad necessarily, but I think that they have like a fascist. And I tried to talk to her about that, but she accepted talking about that. So I was getting the vibe that like, what I mean.
Yeah. Sometimes people just don't like to talk politics because they just find it depressing or whatever, It's not necessarily they don't agree with you, but...
I get that. But between you and me, because we're friends and we can talk and we can be honest with each other, it's like your politics basically kind of like it says your entire worldview. Politics. It says so much about a person when you know what their politics are. Like as far as like what they believe, where they think, how they think the world started, where they think the world's going. You can learn a lot about that just based on someone's political beliefs. And if someone's kind of like put off by anti-fascist talking points, I get a little like uncomfortable. But that's whatever. This is like honestly the birthplace of racism and fascism and all that. I mean, Hitler was like directly inspired by American Western expansionism when he was his a movement to the east, the Lebensraum or whatever, like free. They got what they call space.
Oh shit.
Living space. Yeah.
We need more living space.
Yeah, Lebensraum or whatever the fuck it was. But yeah, Hitler was like directly and invoked plentifully American Western expansion and the elimination of the Native Americans.
Yeah, oh god. Yeah, talking about like you know, politics and like how you get along better with people when you know that they're, you know, more or less on the same page as you. It's funny because we have a neighbor next door. He lives alone. He's divorced. He has a couple of girls. But we don't really know him that well. He smokes in his garage a lot. He works from home. Not a bad guy, but you know, we weren't close. We rarely talked about anything. And during this last political cycle, we put out the Kamala Harris sign, and then he put out a Kamala Harris sign. And after that, now we're like, every time I see him, we talk.
I mean, it says a lot about a person. You know?
Right.
And it says like how you can, because like when you're talking to people normally, it's like you don't know what they think, what they believe, what's gonna piss them off. So it's like I hate that kind of communication. That kind of communication I just can't really do. It's I am completely functionalist when it comes to like trying to talk with people on that level. You know, because like I don't like to talk like about meaningless shit. I like to talk about shit that has meaning to me, you know what I mean? But anyway, but politically, like I mean, I'll be 100% honest. Like I've been pretty radical in the past. I've been in I don't even know if I've ever told you this before, but you know, I'm on the surge right now, and we've known each other long enough. We don't work together, so you don't have to worry about this shit. But like I used to like participate in like socialist parties and stuff like that. What would be considered like communist parties, dabbled in Marxist-Leninism, revolutionary kind of ideologies and stuff like that. And but I kind of fell out of that when Trump won. When Trump, because like I was when during that campaign I was in a political party called the Party for Socialism. It's like it'll take a long time to describe its politics altogether, but you can basically call it like a Marxist. Like you can call it like a communist party. And I was in it from 2008 till Trump won 2016, so about 8 years. And I worked with them for a long time. I've got my own experience with that. I kind of fell off with them, but like they, in my opinion, spent way too much time during the campaign between Trump and Hillary, attacking Hillary. Like that's like the,
oh boy,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, like Trump is a fascist. Like I fully believed then, and like, but like that's where I fell off in my position with the party was like they're like, Trump's not Hitler. Like he kind of is, dude.
Yeah.
And it was just like a bad position, and like and it was once he won, I was really pissed off because I was screeching about Trump for like months throughout the entire election cycle, and like the party spent most of their time attacking Hillary, and I was like, yo, it's like I get what you're saying with Hillary, but like Trump is worse, and he will be a direct threat to leftists like us and socialist parties like us. He will be a threat to us, and they're just and like I was literally laughed at.
Wow.
And then he fucking won. And then like And then all of a sudden, like, they're like full anti-Trump mode all of a sudden. Boom. And like as if I said nothing. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, we're anti-Trump now. It's like, dude, I've been anti-Trump. You want to hear what I gotta say?
Yeah.
But no.
It rubs you the wrong way.
I love the party. Fucking quit.
Yeah, I had a friend. She was a friend in high school and then in college too. She was a member of the Chicago Socialist Party.
Oh, sure.
I went to they used to have meetings at Loyola. I went to one or two of those. Can't say I was totally into it.
They're all
I was
weirdos,
definitely
bro.
Capitalist sympathizer, but yeah, I remember just kind of coming away from this going, these guys are planning, like, they're like, I don't know. I was like, I remember asking this one guy, kind of a nerdy guy, I go, like, so what's the, what's the plan for, making this happen, essentially? You know what I mean? Like, and he's like, well, we're not so much of a movement as a framework to, basically, we'll be here to pick up the pieces when capitalism falls or something. And I'm like, looking around, like, you guys are going to be picking up the pieces, like, from the guys who have the guns and the trucks. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's a nice theory, but I mean, they were all nice people. Don't get me wrong, but I just
well intentioned, I'm sure.
I didn't see myself fitting in with.
Nah, dude. I mean, dude, they're all. I don't want to be ableist. They're all fucking autistic. Any of the fuck they're talking about?
RCX deactivated.
Yeah, they seem to like to hear themselves talk about stuff. Like a lot of more history people. Or I remember this one guy. He looked well, whatever. He was just another kind of nerdy guy, and he was talking at length about something or other that the mayor was doing back. This must have been, fucking like 1990 or no, 88 or something like that. It was whoever was mayor then. I don't even remember, but.
Hey, let's go.
Stabby.
Let's get an emo.
Stabby.
Shut up.
Oh, shit.
Shut up.
Yeah, I'm using this LMG, dude. I'm loving this gun.
Which one?
I put on some attachments. Let me look. Let's see.
Let's get through this. I got it. It's not the PU-21, is it?
It is the PU-21.
Love the PU-21. Loving it as well.
I am.
How far am I
set up on this sucker?
I'm about to get gold on here, I think. Yeah, I just need 2 more double kills, and I've got gold on my PU. On my stinky PU, which doesn't stink in the battlefield. We got time for another? I'm sorry, I kind of got us going late. Fucking shit.
Yeah, let's. No, let's go to at least 8:15.
You got more challenges to do, or
these challenges are?
Oh yeah, what do you got?
No, got to get kills with lethal equipment. I only got one of those.
Do you wanna? Did you wanna stay in this playlist? I've got team deathmatch and domination, or did you want to get into like something?
Maybe Nuketown would be better.
Good.
I mean, I was doing okay on the bigger map, but 50 eliminations using semi-auto weapons. That's not going to be the LMG. Shit, I'm going to have to move away from this
semi-auto?
Oh, that'd be either like a marksman's rifle?
That, or have you messed with the Goblin Mark II assault rifle yet?
I don't think I have.
Try that badass gun. That's my favorite gun. It's my Type 63.
Okay.
You're still on level 1 on it?
Some attachments on it. Yeah, I haven't even touched it yet.
It's great. It's semi-auto, just a heads up. It's like it's a very rare semi-auto assault rifle. And it murders. I'm looking at my diamond encrusted Mark II at the moment. I think that's my main. I think I'm walking around. Yeah, I'm walking around with it. Love of my life.
You're cradling it like a baby.
Oh, dude, like, hey, 1 second. I think I'm gonna grab one more drink.
All right.
All right. So I entered a very specific stage in my evening. That's my normal evening. I'm drinking. I'm real drunk. I'm drinking, of course, the White Claw Surge, 0.8 alcohol per volume monster. 3 is a good amount to drink out. I mean, these are what, 20 ounces? Yeah, I drink like 3 pints of this goddamn shit, and that's usually pretty good. And I'll wake up like, not that bad, but like, but I get to this point, I'm like, I could keep going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm looking at I'm looking at number 4 right now, and like I'm about to bust it open because it's Friday and I don't have to work tomorrow. But like, I'm afraid I'll drink this and then like be hungover in the morning. These are the kind of problems I have.
The danger. I know where I should stop, and I sometimes I do, and sometimes.
But you know what? But the thing is, I usually don't
Sometimes
stop because this doesn't fucking matter. Nothing matters. I can be hungover and
Team deathmatch.
for my life and
Neutralize
I
all
will
threats.
still play Call of Duty. And hopefully work on these. You definitely have me inspired.
Good.
And I know I've got in my head like my strategy, which is really important in my process. But it's mostly just like
it helps to have like a specific. Go ahead.
No, please have a specific one.
Just like I just all I'm focused on is this one thing where I want to make this parody song. You know, it's and that's making me do all the rest. Like learn about the Zoom recorder, learn about GarageBand, learn how to mic the drum. It's like all flowing from that one. I'm doing this. I'm doing this project. It may just be one song, but I am doing it. See what happens after that. But I'm not making big plans for doing all kinds of recording. But for now, I'm enjoying it. You know, it's kind of fun to try to get this one little thing done.
And if it can inspire you enough to like actually be productive and to get in there and do it,
exactly,
it's
right,
golden.
exactly.
Golden.
That's
my problem. I'm like, especially during the week, because like when I'm at work, I'm thinking about playing Call of Duty. I'll get miserable and be like, God, about something in my head, and then like I'll think about getting home, drinking some White Claw Surge and playing Call of Duty, and I'll get happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's hard to do anything else. It's hard to do anything else that I might want to do, but like it doesn't hit me the same way that, or at least give me the same kind of emotional support that Call of Duty does. And streaming it, I've been streaming, pretty consistently. I'm afraid how I was talking about how I think that Matt C person might be AI.
Yeah.
I'm afraid that, like, because after that one time I talked about it, they have not commented.
Inbound on your location.
Like, my comment section has been barren, and I think they caught on to, or at least heard me say the word AI too much, and we're like, all right, I'm out.
Whoa, what's that? What the hell is that? A helicopter blowing this? Oh no.
Oh shit! Oh god, that's
Holy shit! There's something going on out there.
Yeah, what is that? That might be a dreadnought. Get inside.
Fuck.
Stay inside. Yeah, I've got my dreadnought. It's awesome. It's the highest kill streak.
Wow.
It has like 3 different kind of guns.
Before.
Really? Oh man, it'll destroy you. You don't. If you haven't tried it, equipped it and try to get that dreadnought. It is good fun. There's a strategy to it. If you ever want to know the strategy, let me know. It'll make it like the strategy that will make it most effective. Because you basically have like a far gun, a mid gun, and a close gun, and you're gonna want to like switch between the three. Like you're gonna like whatever gun you're on, blast it out, and then switch to once you're out of ammo there, switch to the other gun, and then blast that one out. Then like it's basically when you run out of ammo, switch to the other weapon real quick, and you're gonna wreak havoc. It's gonna be a bloodbath. Because a lot of those weapons are like sinking. All you gotta do is fire them off, and then like the mid ones, kind of like in between, and then like the close ones like a machine gun, you know. So once you get the close one, then get in there and try to rip up, and it'll give you the the indicators on the map where enemies are, the red diamonds. You know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, what's this shit?
Oh, another one.
Jesus. They had a big ass gun inside.
Oh shit. Yeah, that's not in the sky.
Wow. Very loud, very loud. Goddamn. Oh. Guy's in the hangar
Yeah.
On the ground by the plane.
It's a hard area to penetrate. Shit. I think my favorite place to be on this map is like outside across the field with a sniper. Inside here, there's not a lot of flow. It's kind of a mess. And but I think like the doorways seem to be where most of the action's at.
Yeah.
That's 4 different doorways. Particularly the 2 on the side, is it? The 2 on the south side.
What the hell is your problem? I don't do anything.
Shit! Oh man! They literally had 2 spring mines in that little hallway. 2! I was about to shoot up one, and then like there's another one that got me. Bastard. And then now they got a 3rd one in there. Jesus. Oh god.
Ouch.
Worse. Could have been worse. Team bottom 3, I'll take it. Yeah, that's an awesome shotgun. The automatic shotgun. You know I love those. Well, I think that's the automatic. That might be the semi-automatic. Can't remember. Semi-auto or auto shotguns, they're always pretty. How are your challenges?
I'm gonna take a look. Let's see, I need a lot more. I need a lot more semi-auto kills and a lot more lethal kills. Can we try?
Oh, Nuketown, right?
Nuketown.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought I switched this into Nuketown. I'm sorry. Oh. No,
that's fine.
We talked about that before. What the hell? So super sorry.
I forgot about it too until I saw my challenges, and I'm like, well, switch it over.
Sorry about that. I'm sorry if I'm crunching in your ear. I'm a creature of habit, man. And there's a liquor store right around the corner, and I'll get the same drink, and I'll get the same Japanese style, made in Mexico peanuts every time I go in there. And I'm afraid it weirds people out. Would it weird you out? You were like worked at a convenience store and like there was a dude who came in every night and just got the same thing every night.
No, because I worked at this tobacco shop and people did that stuff.
That's
all the time.
common?
We had a guy who, the regulars. This one guy, he smoked Kent cigarettes and he would always get Luden's menthol cough drops or whatever they were.
Oh, interesting.
Throat.
So is everyone like
His
that?
thing.
Am I just psychotic thinking
a lot of people are. Yeah, a lot of people are.
For some reason, I'm.
Yeah, I knew.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, please.
No, I just there was customers that we just knew on site what they wanted. I would get their cigarettes ready before they even asked for them.
That's awesome.
I knew.
That's a really good feeling as a customer.
Tons of people. Maybe yes, maybe no. I don't know. Like some people probably are like,
I would.
Cigarettes aren't good for you. These guys.
I mean, if someone's like, well, I mean, people shouldn't get annoyed at that.
They never did.
That's like understandable. If you come in and get the same shit every day, and then like you come in and the person gets it ready for you, if you're pissed off about that, like what the hell's wrong with you? Like that should not be. That should be expected. Instead of like, how dare you? I don't want that shit today. The one day I don't want it, you're gonna assume that's what I want. How dare you? Well, that makes me feel a little better. The same goddamn shit all the time. But I'm like that with everything. I'm with that with everything, but not with marijuana. It's present. I'll switch up what I get with that. Everything else, though, especially food.
Securing B.
A pretty strict regimen. Terrible eating food. I mean, terrible in health-wise. A lot of vegan pizza.
Kind of funny, though.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Vegan pizza. No, I just last time I was out at my dad's helping my sister clean up and crap. My dad greets me at the door and he's like, "Here." He's like, he hands me two like pill bottles, and he's like, "Here." He's like, "Take these," and I'm like, "What is this?" I thought they were pills. It turns out he had bought like marijuana buds at Costco in Rockford a long time ago. He's like, he said he intended to cook it at some point. I think he meant like bake it because he doesn't smoke. So I think he was gonna like try to make cookies or something is my guess. But it was funny. He said I was gonna cook it. I'm like,
I'm gonna cook it.
Like cook a bowl of crack.
No, that's just the old-timey way to say smoke it. We're gonna cook it, Sonny.
Cook it.
We're gonna blow some tea.
Dude. I mean, and this is the guy, my dad used to work in law enforcement and stuff, and he would have, my brother got in trouble for smoking pot with him one time when he found a bowl in the car. I was too good at hiding my tracks. I never got busted, but anyway, my dad's come a long way from that person he was back then. I just can't believe my dad's giving me weed. This is like,
Hey, 2025.
I don't know. We've
Beautiful
gone to
time.
the other side. Yeah.
It's a new time. It's a renaissance. Some sort.
The weed too. It was called Outer Space. It was like so like I could see my dad going, "Ooh, that sounds like a good one." He's gonna take me to outer space.
Perfect.
So funny.
No, I'm
I smoked a little bit the other night. It was fucking dry as a rock.
Oh no, so you had it for a while.
What were you gonna say?
Well, I got all sorts of stuff to say. I am a very, I guess you could say, educated marijuana consumer,
Taking Bravo underway.
and I get the best for my money.
Initiating
And,
objective control. They're in my sight.
and I'm definitely not going in there blind.
Enemy expired.
If you ever do buy like flour, even anything else, there's a brand called it's just called Savvy for all the Savvy smokers.
Oh yeah.
They have by far the best prices. Like it's essentially half price. I don't know what's going on there. It's like I think every other brand is like giving you like top notch. If you want to like anything, like if you're buying like say like 7 grams of something and it's gonna be like $100 for that, or close to 100. Like that shit's gonna like last you. But it's just whatever. Honestly, I don't think it'll get you higher than anything else, but it's like the highest quality you can get, you know? It's like the highest, like the most flowery part of the plant. If you're gonna buy like from Savvy, it's basically like the bottom area of the pot plant. Some tighter buds or even like powder, which like I don't even like, they charge next to nothing for like ground flour. And like ground flour is fantastic because you don't have to grind it up. You know, it's like ready to go. You put in whatever you want. It's, you know, so I don't know why the hell it's like a fraction of the price of like getting like big fat beautiful buds that might be big stinky and, you know, beautiful looking, but you gotta grind that thing. You gotta probably can't put it in a joint if you're smoking joints because it's gonna be too wet.
Enemy UAV inbound.
Sorry, I'm letting it all out tonight, man. I'm sorry if it's information.
No, all good. Yeah, no, Savvy's the brand, huh? Yeah, I'll have to look out for that.
Savvy's fantastic.
I go through stuff so slow that it takes me a long time before I actually need to buy anything. Then I got people like my dad giving me weed. Like, okay. The stuff he gave me, I'm just gonna pretty much throw out because it's so fucking dry.
Well, I mean, you can
like he bought it. You could like put it in a humidifier, maybe.
Or no. I mean, I would roll into it. But honestly, like dry weeds, you know, it's whatever. I mean, it's just not ideal. It's gonna burn very quickly, but it'll like still do the job, however you adjust it. I mean, whatever. I mean, dry weed's better than like super wet weed. I've actually like got a jar specifically for holding weed, and it's got a humidity scale on it, like a little like what would you call it?
Like an indicator.
Yeah, like almost like a compass, but you know, but it just shows like how like the between humid and dry, and like there's like a green area like where it's perfect, and this where what I've got right now is literally sitting right in the center, right in the green. Perfect. And like that. Oh, also it's like I will specifically buy if I do, you know, because like I just smoke on the regular, you know, and like, so it's kind of like, it's good to budget it. And I will get, because there's basically 3 kinds of weed you can get. You can get sativa, you can get a hybrid, or you can get an indica. And sativa is like, it's basically, sativa's light, Hybrid's medium, Indica's heavy. When you think of Indica, think of Couch because it's gonna make you lay in your couch.
Right.
You know. And I'll be honest, like I will only get Indica because it will last me the long. You know? Like honestly, it's like I've gotten my meat consumption in budget like down to a goddamn science. And I'm basically getting almost twice as much money out of what I'm getting like than when I was like literally buying it from like my friend street level.
Taking B.
That dude was straight up ripping me off. At the end of the day, when I look at it, at least he was my supposed best friend who I bought weed from was basically smoking for.
Your tactics aren't working. Find another way.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? He wasn't exactly making money, but he was definitely not.
Yeah, my main guy in high school was similar. He was not a friend, but you know, we got along. He played drums. Once in a while we'd get together and jam or whatever. But he also, like, bags were often very, very light, especially as time went on. And that I think that was also a contributing factor to why I quit. I was just kind of like tired of getting ripped off. You know, it's like, Jesus. It just, I'm not a real confrontational person, especially back then I wasn't, so I just kind of was like, well, some weed is better than no weed, I guess I'll just...
Yeah, that sucks. Man, I mean, whatever. I was getting shit. I mean, I can't really say my friend was ripping me off. Like but he was basically charging me the same. Like if he was just like if he wasn't my friend, like just some dude. Like I was on the street price. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't getting he would for a little while sell me like what's called shake. Which is like just like the bottom of the bag of a giant bag. There's just like the stemmy.
Oh, the shake.
Yeah, the shake.
Yeah,
He would there's a while he would sell me that shit like dirt cheap. But that went away for some reason. I don't remember why. But now, like with the
one more Nuketown.
More Nuketown.
Yeah, one more.
Yeah, but now that it's legal, and like the prices are well controlled. Like, yeah, I'm a like the name of the brand, Savvy. I am a savvy drug abuser.
You put in the work.
I do. You gotta put in decades of work. I'm like essentially a professional at this. I'm a professional pot smoker, professional musician, professional Call of Duty player. And that's all I ever want to talk about. Professional drinker.
Ooh, I gotta get a...
What do you need?
It's fine. I'm gonna change my brag to a... Thank you.
Honestly, like I'm at this point. I'm so intoxicated. I don't even remember what gun I was using last match. So now I'm consciously using the Rekova pistol. Have you messed with this guy yet? Rekova automatic pistol. Dude, honestly, like, I mean, I could just be, like, you know, getting better and all, but I feel like the guns in this game are goddamn amazing. All of them. I haven't met a gun in this game that I didn't like, except for, well, we'll see. I haven't met a lot of burst guns yet. We'll see once the first, I grind on the first burst.
Mate.
Yeah, I just finished grinding gold 9 pistol, And I've been doing a little bit on the Kova already. I'm still doing headshots on it now, but it is. Did you ever mess with the automatic 50 cal in Modern Warfare 3 or 2? I can't remember what it's in.
Automatic 50.
Desert Eagle, that was like automatic. I think it was cool, but this.
I can't recall, to be honest.
I've got with a good setup on this Krakova. It is a laser beam, like a high rate automatic pistol with great mobility and zero recoil with a perfect setup. It's great.
Deploying RCXD.
Actually perform better with this than I basically perform this like it feels like a SMG.
We've lost the advantage. Damn it, we've lost the lead.
Dude, sliding to the side and back in this game, I'll never like get sick of it, dude. I'll never take it for granted. It is the bee's knees. Best thing since sliced bread.
Enemy trophy system removed.
We're tight. Team top 3. That's how we do. Let's get to the top. How's your challenge situation?
I got the lethals done. I think I need about 6 more kills with the semi-auto.
Are you running that goblin?
I did. I switched to marksman.
Oh, you weren't
because
feeling
I think
it.
I'm just better at it.
Oh.
Well, not yet. I mean, I have to mess around with the.
Do you want me to send you my setup?
the
All right, let's I'll tell you what I got on my loadout on that. Just to give it a shot. If you're not feeling that going, that's fine. It's different.
I just want to get.
Yeah, get the challenge done.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, send me the
get
setup.
that.
I'd like
Yeah,
that.
I haven't sent you a screenshot in a while. Maybe do that. Yeah, it's I'm quite of it.
Nice. We're pulling ahead.
Still just once I'm done with the challenge. Once I'm like done with camo challenge and like I don't have any more camo grinding to do, like I'll just like sit on a SMG, MP5.
All right, I got it done. Thank God. Now to win the match.
Oh, nice. I mean, even with the Type 63, and I love that gun in Cold War. If like you and I jumped into Cold War right now, like I would have a SMG MP5 instead of that one. Like every time you and I would jump into that, like just to play a couple games, like yeah, I would always use the MP5.
Backup's not coming. You want to get out of this alive? Better step up.
Eyes on enemy mine.
Get it. I've been throwing down spring mines between the truck and the school bus, and I just got killed by one, so I think it might be karma. Whoa, that was close.
Oh, jeez. Oh, 1 point game. Ow. So
It's basically a win.
It's basically a win.
Basically. Close enough. I'll take it.
Yeah, this guy was getting around in the match. I saw a lot of him.
King George the Fourth.
King George. Yeah.
I saw a book today, and like said it was written by King Charles. It's like weirded me out, and because it didn't seem like something he would write. It was like weird, but then I figured out like, oh no, the name's Charles King.
Ah.
Completely different person.
All right, man. Well, I got to run.
Okay, cool.
So
Cool. What do you got going on tonight? You hanging out with Rachel?
Yeah, just go. We actually found a new show last night that's not new, but new to us.
What's it called?
I think it's on Amazon Prime. It's called Lodge 49. It's about
Never heard
this
of it.
surfer dude in California. Yeah, I caught a little bit on IFC when I was flipping channels, and I got a real like Big Lebowski feel from it, and it was kind of funny and quirky. I'm like I gotta check this thing out, and we watched the first episode last night, and it was really good. Very, very Coen Brothers-esque.
Like that.
I can't tell you the name of the actor who's in it, but funny, weird. Yeah, so far so good.
Man, I gotta get
One of
into.
those,
I don't know what's gonna take, man. I did finish watching the Terminator show, Netflix, but it's just I don't know why like trying to get through an entire show, like such a why it's difficult for me. I don't know what it is. That movies, it's I've fucking bitched about this forever, man. You already know. Sorry.
Well, you know, it's you do what you want to do.
And like I'm.
It is harder.
It's harder. Well, go ahead, please.
Hard to find good shows. That's what I was going to say. We
There's a
started to
lot.
stop a lot of shit. So there's a lot of crap out here. So.
But there's a lot of really good stuff too. I mean, we're in a pretty. I mean, there is no shortage of entertainment. I mean, even quality entertainment. That's like literally at our fingertips. It's like I don't know if it's just like maybe there's just too much. But anyway, I'm sorry. I'm holding you up.
No worries.
What's your weekend looking like?
Tomorrow we got to run out to Elmhurst. Just take the trash cans back at our uncle's house, but that's just an afternoon thing. Not much. That's the big plan tomorrow.
That's a good plan.
No, so yeah, it should be pretty open in the evening. So
excellent. I gotta see if I can try to get down to my storage unit tomorrow. Grab a few things, just fun things, nothing important. But I don't know. I always do this shit. I'm always like, I got a plan. I just play Call of Duty.
you should get out. You should get out once a day, at least once a day.
Yeah, you're right. Right?
It's good for you.
It is. God damn it! All right. I'm going to try to internalize what you just said. I'm sorry. All right, I'll let you go. Please tell Rachel I said what's up.
I will. Okay, man.
Cool, man.
Good
night. I'll talk to you. Hit me up tomorrow whenever you're free. Am I still in this party? Get kicked. I might be the most awkward person on the planet. But I don't give a fuck. Man, I am what I am. I do what I do. Nothing matters.
Dude, there's nothing funnier. There is nothing funnier than saying TikTok is responsible for the spread of misinformation, which it is. Okay, that's true. But exclusively TikTok is responsible for spreading misinformation.
Facebook, Jackson.
SCOTUS is hearing oral arguments about banning TikTok. Also, here is Scott Geller on MSNBC talking about the revolutionary sentiment that is sparking amongst the working class that must liberate themselves from must emancipate themselves and crush the chains of capital. We're going to be covering that as well. And then I'll also get to the Lake and Riley Act and how devastating and dangerous that is. Did I say Scott Galloway or did I say the wrong? Yeah, he sucks, by the way. Scott Galloway's awful. Did I say Scott Geller? Oh.
We'll hear oral arguments today regarding the law that would effectively shut down the video sharing app in the U.S. And now President-elect Trump is weighing in. Dan Abrams standing by to break down the arguments. First, senior White House correspondent Selena Wang is at the court. Good morning, Selena.
TikTok will make its last stand. The app is set to be banned just days from now, so TikTok is making its final plea to stay in America.
Yeah, this is how they're making the plea. Look at these cool ass dances.
It's one of the most popular social media apps in America with an estimated 100 million.
Why is Scott Galloway bad? Yeah, he has interesting thoughts on toxic masculinity. Okay, that's fine. Just don't look at what he has to say about Palestinians and students who are in favor of Palestinian emancipation, or even like all this other stuff about like his opinion on masculinity and stuff. He's got a lot of weird takes. Anyway, let's continue with this.
Home to viral moments and everything from how-to tutorials.
You have to make these chopped Italian sandwiches. These
to fashion and beauty trends.
These over here are the Cyber Monday deals I'm low-key looking at.
But in just 9 days, TikTok is set to disappear from America's app stores after Congress passed a law forcing its Chinese parent company ByteDance to sell the app or face a ban. Lawmakers from both parties and the White House argue it's a serious national security risk.
Oh, by the way, they are going to come after Tencent. They're going to come after League of Legends. I'm just letting you know right now. I am letting you know right now. They're going to come after League of Legends. They're going to come after Valorant. They're going to come after the drone producers. What is it called? DJIT or whatever, the Chinese drone manufacturers. They're going to come after Chinese router companies like TP-Link. I'm just letting you know. DJI, sorry, yeah. Yes, Marvel Rivals might be on the chopping block. I am letting you know right now that the way things are going, they're going to try to clamp down on anything and everything that is made in China. This panic is not going away. It is not going to subside. It is going to get much worse. Let's continue.
The Chinese government can force TikTok to hand over Americans' data and use the app to spread misinformation. TikTok denies those claims, saying its American operations are separate and arguing the ban.
Dude, there's nothing funnier. There is nothing funnier than saying TikTok is responsible for the spread of misinformation, which it is. Okay, that's true. But exclusively TikTok is responsible for spreading misinformation. Have you seen Twitter? Have you seen Facebook? Have you seen any of the social media platforms out there? Like, if you cared about the dissemination of truth, right? Or if you cared about like hate speech or you know, all of these like divisive all these divisive statements coming out of social media and like dividing the public, then apply European style restrictions. Then you will never do that, of course, because this has nothing to do with national security fears. This has nothing to do with misinformation that TikTok is causing, and everything to do with TikTok being a Chinese operated company that is literally sucking up the rest of the social media marketplace, and they want to ensure that they're the only game in town. American-owned companies must dominate the land. TikTok doesn't offer the same backdoors that every other social media platform offers to the American intelligence agencies. That's a big problem for them. And also, it's not controlled by by an American that is malleable, by a Westerner that is, easier to control. That's the reason. That's why they absolutely hate it.
and violates the First Amendment right to freedom of speech. So far, federal judges have sided with the government, but later today, the Supreme Court's 9 justices will hear the arguments that—
I know they're already coming for Tencent. U.S. asks Chinese tech giants to list of companies allegedly working with China's military. Yeah. Tencent. The U.S. Department of Defense has added Chinese tech companies Tencent, a social media and gaming giant, and CATL, the world's largest battery maker, to a list of firms that it alleges works with the Chinese military. And the thing is, they do. They do. Of course they do. You know who else works with the military, with their respective military? Every American company. Every company in the United States of America, from video game developers all the way to whatever, you know, whatever goods manufacturing we have that remains here, okay? It's so stupid. If anything, the Chinese collaboration with the government / the Chinese military is much more limited than the American, overt American collaboration that every single one of our software companies and hardware companies works directly with the American military. Yeah, from Microsoft to Facebook to Amazon, everything. If they take away my League of Legends, I'm going full treatlerite. Yeah, Tencent Epic Games also works with the U.S. military. Epic partners with SwordTech for government and military applications. Epic Games has selected SwordTech as our official provider of licensing. Inclusion of the Pentagon list does not result in immediate sanctions, but it could affect the reputations of the companies named and hinder their commercial progress, particularly if they want to do business in the United States. Shares in Tencent, which owns Chinese super app WeChat, were 6.5% lower in Hong Kong on Tuesday, while CATL's Shenzhen-listed shares lost more than 3%. They joined dozens of other alleged Chinese military companies on the list that the Defense Department alleges operate directly or indirectly in the U.S., according to a notice posted in the Federal Register on Monday. The Pentagon has said the so-called 1260H list, which is updated annually, is an important continued effort in highlighting and countering China's military-civil fusion strategy, a goal to develop the most technologically advanced military in the world by eliminating barriers between the country's civilian research and commercial sectors and its armed forces. Meanwhile, we got this going on. Mr. Beast, Kelly Clarkson, and Guy Fieri were approved for Pentagon funds last year as military recruitment hits record lows. Look at that. Ridiculous. Yeah.
Like me.
Mark Zuckerberg openly admitting that Meta works with the intelligence community to identify foreign influence operations. Like, that's the major reason why they're so upset with TikTok too. And obviously the straw that broke the camel's back was when they got the Israel lobby on board with banning TikTok. Because if you recall, Donald Trump initially said he wanted to ban TikTok when he was president. There was a lot of motion to ban TikTok. This materialized and became a full-blown, he wanted to do it via executive authority. It didn't work, right? Then they turned to Congress. And the final straw that broke the camel's back was post-October 7 when the ADL got involved. When ADL and other, Israel lobby arms got together and wanted to ban TikTok because there was too much pro-Palestinian sentiment going on those platforms, as opposed to like Meta, where if you say anything even remotely pro-Palestinian, you get banned. They were able to finally push Congress to take action, which they did, and then they voted for it, and then it went all the way up to the Supreme Court, and now the Supreme Court is discussing whether or not to ban this website, and virtually all members of the supposedly liberal media, supposedly mainstream liberal media, are on board with this ban as well. Meanwhile, Donald Trump, given the advantages that he got from TikTok and a last-ditch effort, I think, from TikTok that opened up the content faucet for right-wing sentiment to thrive even more than it does, is now trying to save TikTok, at least That's what he's saying he wants to do.
That will determine TikTok's fate. After President-elect Donald Trump, who tried to ban TikTok during his first term, urged the Supreme Court to put the law on hold.
It's sad. It's really, really sad.
Hanging in the balance, many content creators and small businesses who make a living off of the app.
Hey there, I'm Nadia.
Like Nadia Okamoto, who has over 4 million followers.
If TikTok were to go away, we would be facing a really, really challenging situation.
Yeah, this is a very real issue because TikTok is virtually the only game in town for a lot of small businesses that have, you know, become very successful small businesses. It's not even a joke. Like, this is straight up something that I brought. This is something that I brought up as well.
Situation.
Now, if the ban does go into effect, TikTok isn't just going to disappear from your phone, but new users won't be able to download it and you won't get those software updates. So eventually the app would just stop working. Now, the Supreme Court is expected to make its final decision sometime next week before that January 19th deadline. Guys?
Okay, Selena, thanks. Let's bring in our chief legal analyst.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad because this means one less deliverable for me at work. I think that it is absolutely ridiculous that they are banning TikTok. Here's Mitt Romney openly admitting why they want to ban TikTok, by the way. I just want to point this out. Here it is.
Been so awful. I know that's not your area of expertise, but you have to have some thoughts on that, which is, I mean, as you said, why has Hamas disappeared in terms of public perception?
I don't know how you can see how badly TikTok has broken people's brains, and I think it's bad to ban it. I don't agree with their reasoning, but it would be a net good. No, you want to know why? Because, and I've repeated this over and over again, TikTok is one of the only social media platforms where there is leftist sentiment that routinely goes viral. Every other social media platform actively clamps on this sort of sentiment and genuinely stops its distribution. That's the reason why they want to ban TikTok to begin with. It's a major part of the problem. So I say, if there are going to be no restrictions whatsoever, then yeah, I don't want the only platform where there is somewhat of a 50-50 split on left-leaning sentiment versus right-wing supercharged conspiracy theories is better overall than platforms like Twitter that is like completely overtaken by neo-Nazi nonsense. That's it. Yeah, exactly. TikTok is the most left-wing platform, which isn't saying much, by the way. Just so you understand, TikTok being the most left-wing platform doesn't mean that it's like all leftist content on there. It's not that at all. There's plenty of right-wing nut jobs on there too. There's plenty of conspiracy theories on there as well. What do you think will replace it? It seems inevitable that it'll be taken away. Yeah, people are just going to supercharge YouTube Shorts. You know? That's it. That's what's going to happen. People are going to go to other platforms, and that's precisely what these American-backed and Western-backed social media platforms want. They either want to be able to control TikTok and give it to the hands of, forcibly sell it to an American, or they want to.
Like, I don't know if this is like a Russian Today situation though, because. I mean, it's not even like, I mean, TikTok isn't like explicitly political in general. Think about like Russia Today, the Russian, like English version, you know, of their state propaganda. Like they would have leftists on it too, but at the same time, they would also have like Alex Jones style libertarians. It's pretty much anyone who was down with overthrowing liberal democracy in the United States. Which at this point, like they may have won at this point. Liberal democracy may be dead globally. If Trump gets a third term, or like if he passes away and Don Jr. or especially if it's a family member, but like if one of his political allies in an undemocratic way just takes power, like yeah, liberal democracy is done. Like where we have entered the authoritarian stage, which I don't know where that's going to take us. going to lead to a lot of contradictions. It already has. I don't know. I'm not optimistic.
That's a kill.
About the prospects of America. I fully expect this to lead to the ultimate decline of America's global position as, like, I mean, is this cliche at this point to be like hegemonic world leader? It's gonna end because American culture has always had global appeal. And when you go ultra nationalist like MAGA, you're gonna lose that international appeal, and America will cease to be the global hegemonic superpower. And
Send me a care package.
Clock's ticking, Black Ops.
and
Close
China
this shit
is
down.
kind of set to take up that role, despite the fact that they have ideological issues. I feel like that they're more pragmatic. They're like, which is pretty funny. Chinese Communist Party is less ideological, more pragmatic than the capitalists in the United States of America. And I think that they'd be like willing to, you know, not be too hard-lined on economic positions, and would be willing to change trajectory based on evidence. Or
All mission objectives set. Way to make me proud.
wow,
Good job, crew.
I think I finally hit that shit. About to fucking crash. Top 3. Before I log off, I should change my calling card and my emblem. This Christmas is over, and the is the Call of Duty equivalent to leaving your lights up. Ever since I started talking about AI on stream, I've gotten like 0. The AI has run away. My boy Matt C, I have a feeling, was AI and has abandoned me. You know, but it's all gravy. What the hell did I jump out of here? Woo! All right, I think I'm Audi 5000. But I love you. If you're watching this, let me see if I 0, 3 donuts, 0 concurrent viewers, 0 chat rate, 0 views. You know what? This is what I give to the 3 zeros. Sweet chef's kisses. I don't even care. We're here for fun, and I'm having fun. I love Call of Duty, and I love talking shit. So if you watch us in some place in space and time, you know, holler at me, please, because let's holler. Love, I'm out. I love you.